Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your match review for Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 3. I am your host, Marshalldbdx, accompanied by the lovely panel of Ahmed, the Bridge 258, Curry Pirate, as well as Real Chris. Big up to everyone here. Big up to Chelsea for pulling that win last minute the way they did in a dead match, in my opinion. But we will discuss all this. But before we do, as always, ladies and gents, be sure to smash up the like buttons if you haven't done so already, because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm, spreading the good word of Casually FC to more people that could be interested in the channel. So go ahead, smash up the like button so that it helps us grow. Also, subscribe if you haven't done so already, because we are on our way to 3K, currently almost at 2.5K. So if we can get 2.5K, that'd be a big accomplishment. Let's go ahead and work our way over to there if you haven't done so already. Smash the bell notification if you are subscribed so that you are notified whenever we do go live. Check out the links in the description below for more content, as well as the Twitter and Discord, which we were just in, enjoying the match as well as enjoying pro clubs as of recently. Also, be sure to check out the comments down below. Leave a comment, let us know your thoughts on everything we're going to be discussing today and in terms of the game. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out the memberships, 4 different tiers starting at 99p, all which help the channel grow and keep the lights on. Big up to all our members and all the support you guys have shown us. And if you haven't done so already, do use those emojis, because they do they are funny and they are enjoyable, and the more members we get, the more emojis, so it makes the community nice and tight-knit and, you know, unique. But let's go ahead as usual, guys. Quick summary of the match just to go over what we just witnessed. First half was arguably a really shit half. Actually, it's not really an argument. It was a shit half. Chelsea were not showing up. Dead half, and we were losing 1-0. 30th minute, Jefferson Lerma gets a goal, a wonderful goal, good shot, one that he should have taken. Petrovic, you could have argued, could have probably positioned himself better for that and possibly have blocked it. But even before that, you have Nani Madueke getting dispossessed for that one passage of play. We have the referee not calling a foul on Caicedo, which I still believe is a foul on Caicedo. And then even before that play, the Sassi getting cooked on that right-hand side. So not a good look for Chelsea going into the second half. But immediately as the second half starts, Conor Gallagher steps up, gets a goal, and we find ourselves in a draw. And then for a whole 45 minutes, a dead game. If we're looking at the stats throughout this whole entire game, Chelsea had 14 shots, only 5 of them on target. So really not many big chances created, and Kunku invisible really that whole second half. But we managed to somehow, in a moment of opportunity, Raheem the Dream Sterling ends up finding an opportunity to pass the ball through onto Cole Palmer, which Cole Palmer cuts inside, finds Gallagher outside the box. Gallagher, one touch shot, which we want Gallagher to do more often, is shoot. He shoots it, and the ball finds itself in the back of the net in stoppage time. And we go crazy. Disasi goes into the crowd. Gallagher celebrates as he should. It was great. It was great to see. Now we are winning 2-1, and as a consolation, Enzo Fernandez ends up getting himself a brilliant goal as well, to make it 3-1. And the score line, I would say, flatters Chelsea in this instance. We didn't play great, but at the end of the day, we have to get results, and we were expecting results against Crystal Palace. I was expecting a better performance, to be honest, but hey, it is what it is. You got to take it where you can with Pochettino this season. And yeah, so 3-1, the result. We get 3 points. I don't know where that puts us in the table right now. Let me actually just take a quick look before I switch over. We're back in 10th place, guys. We're back in 10th place. So that's good at least. But I guess we'll start with our new panelist here, Curry Pirate, my friend. Welcome to the panel. Let me ask you your overall thoughts on the match today, man.
I felt like first half was a continuation of how we played against Wolves in terms of like the midfield and like the separation of that again with that Enzo and Kaiser. Like I was stating, was that it felt like Enzo Tinetson was telling Kaiser to like come along with him when he was going forward, push up. And also with that, also is Thiago Silva slowing things down once again.
Okay,
You could see him constantly just hold the ball and look up, and then touch the ball again, look up. I don't know what he was doing, trying to look for his retirement home out there or something. I don't know what he was trying to do, but you can really see the difference between having someone like a Badiashile or even a Colwell, let's say, compared to him. Like, fair enough, he made some good tackles late, but if Pochettino wants to play this high line and we want to break the lines at times, he really is a detriment to us in that sense, because he doesn't have the pace, and him holding the ball so much, looking for a quote-unquote available passing lane, is allowing for the opposition team's defense to settle in and man-mark you and cut those passes. So it really defeats the purpose. And
oh my God!
Yeah, I know. Time's up. That's not back.
It's been 24 hours. Listen, we're over, man. That's the past.
Sorry, I told you, dude. I got it.
Listen, the past is the past, man. Stop being a history merchant.
The past is the past.
Well, the past might be the future if he joins Chelsea, so that's why I'm on the agenda right.
You're gonna slander potentially one of your players. Have some shame.
I hope he's not my player.
Have some shame.
I hope he's not my player. I hope he's not my player.
You see that coming?
I would never do that, but fine shame, man.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what did you say? You also dissed. I was in the stream when you dissed our legend Didier Drogba, so don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I didn't diss Drogba. It was banter amongst international teams at AFCON. You've never been that. You don't understand. You don't understand that.
He was making fun of Drogba, and I just want to say Jackson had as much impact this AFCON as Osimhen did, so I'd rather keep Jackson as a striker.
I mean, that's not true, because Jackson didn't score. Osimhen has scored.
And did Osimhen score in knockouts? No, he scored during a draw in the group stage. Anyways.
He did score in knockouts, actually, but they were wrongfully ruled out, so...
so once again, it doesn't count. So that's like having a Werner.
Just team over in the count, yeah?
Also, he got an assist as well in the knockout, so like...
Well, we're just gonna luck out with that. Okay, sure. Good job for being triple the price and contributing one group goal and one assist.
Are you saying Jackson's better than Osimhen?
He's on par right now.
I'm saying Jackson played this game and Osimhen didn't. So let's get back to the game.
Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I was kidding. First half definitely felt like back to Wolves and Liverpool. But second half, for once, I think maybe a shooting star might have happened, but we saw actively proper tactical changes in the second half that were positive.
Really? Okay.
Definitely, I would say there was better play. Like, even though Madueke was pushing the ball up in the first half, he did cost us the goal. I think it could be a learning experience for him, because I think he was trying to dribble out of that situation. But I'm like, dude, you're right near the edge of the box. This is the worst place to lose the ball or do those risky type of passes. So glad Nkunku came in. I agree with you that there was no impact by Nkunku, but it really shows that he's either a second striker or he's just not a striker in any sense of the word.
Yeah.
And it really shows that he needs that area to roam and, be laid into the box and playmate more than, be that central piece. So it also shows that we really do need a main striker in the summer, and that we're not playing to his strengths once again. I would have said before the 2 goals by Gallagher that this is why we should have had Nkunku in the 10 position, maybe, or if we were going to do Nkunku, then have the fluid front line, but not have Gallagher there, so we could be more potent. But today Gallagher did his job, so props to him. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, Oliver, your thoughts on Gallagher's performance today?
Apart from the goals, I have nothing good to say. But credit for the goals. I'm not going to take it away from him. Listen, it did end up winning us the game. Enzo's goal was just a consolation. Gallagher's brace won us the game. So, I'll give him credit for that, but I can't remember a single contribution, or at least a positive contribution, that he made before that. And that doesn't just go for him. Like, a lot of the team, very, very poor throughout the whole game, particularly most of the players in that first half. But I don't really have much else to say. I mean, it was a terrible game to watch, but I'm happy we won. And this, Poch hasn't learned his lesson from Aston Villa, so, we can't really move forward with any more optimism than we did going in.
I feel like this is one of those games for me where it's a little bittersweet because, yes, Gallagher did well to get us the goals and essentially saved the game. To be honest, like if we're being completely transparent, he saved Chelsea this game because we were on the verge of getting a draw. Actually, we without Gallagher in this game, without his goals, then we probably don't even get a draw. We probably lose because we were 1-0.
I think we lose because look how open Palace were for that counter attack that Enzo scored on.
Yeah,
we're not getting that space if they're not chasing.
And it's like if you look at it on paper, you would think Gallagher had a good game, but it's one of those performances that the goals mask the performance itself, like the ability on the pitch. And Gallagher today, like most players, to be honest, it's not just Gallagher. Let me not single out Gallagher too, because I feel like most of the players on that pitch today were pretty bad. Like there was not really many good players on that pitch, if at all, really. But Gallagher was one of those people, and people are going to come out today, and obviously they're going to say and sing high praises for Gallagher and all that, which is it's fine. I mean, he did turn the game around for us and got us the result that we needed to get 3 points. But at the end of the day, I'm not having this agenda that's going to be coming out that Gallagher needs to start now. Like Gallagher needs to be in this lineup. I would argue that we probably should have started with Nkunku in at number 10, and hindsight being 2020. But at the end of the day, maybe not, because you saw Gallagher was able to score from the position he was in. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, Chris, in your opinion, what do you think would have changed if Gallagher wasn't in this lineup today? Do you think Nkunku would have been a number 10? You think it would have been a difference maker?
Maybe. I don't know if we could have actually dropped Gallagher unless you play Sterling right over.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe, like, under especially Poch's Navy system, like we can play like Cole Palmer and Madueke on the wings and have Jackson up front. I don't think that's why he's playing Cole Palmer. So I think Gallagher just has to play at the minute until, I don't know, like we change it. I don't know. I don't see Gallagher ever getting benched under this manager. Like I don't think we actually go about Gallagher. So Gallagher just got his goals today. Like it's his first goals in Premier League. That's what it was. Like don't forget, like this guy hasn't actually been doing well for most of the season. Like he's not had like great games. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything could have changed. It's just one of those games where, if you go by the first half, we was completely dead. The only one I thought was actually trying to do anything was us trying to like get Gusto to try to do something from the right side at right back, where he was looking quite poor with his touches and all that still. But Enzo trying to ping the balls where he was like quite inconsistent with his passing, like it kept him like obviously their players. But I thought Enzo
actually, Chris, before you go, does anyone know Enzo's passing stats today? Like how many passes complete? I feel like it's like at least 70%
I'll have a look.
pass completion today.
With me,
go ahead,
though,
Chris, continue.
With me, I still didn't mind what Enzo was doing because he was still trying to do something. Like he was trying to.
Yeah, it's like Jorginho. The attempt was there.
I'm not saying he was good. Like he wasn't great. He wasn't anything like that. But I thought he's one of our better players anyway. At least in the first half. But like it was a dead half. Like the whole game was dead anyway. I'm not saying dead half. The first half, second half was basically dead. It's just we was clinical today. I thought it was just clinical. Like we got our chances. We just got our chances in and put them away. Like Gallagher somehow had the shooting boots on for once and actually scored them. Enzo scored another goal. This is the 7th goal of the season. Enzo's already now. Like,
big up on Enzo.
So people want Enzo to get goals. He's getting his goals at least anyway. So yeah, like I just felt bad for like Enzo and Caicedo because it's realistically like Poch doesn't want us to play with a midfield. Like Caicedo gets dropped in between the two centre backs half the time in the first half. Enzo gets dropped into a left back a lot of times in this game. Like we didn't have any midfield. Like it just, I don't know what the whole system or the tactics was today. It was a mess. Like it was watching paint dry today. That's what it was. Like I'm actually glad we got the results today because I know we're getting smashed against City. Like City got smashed like 6-7 goals past us, and we might score one at best. Like City just got De Bruyne back, they got Haaland back, like they got all these players back. So yeah, I'm glad we got this points before we get spanked anyway. So yeah.
Enzo's pass completion was 86, by the way, 86%.
Okay.
I mean, in the first half, that was probably a lot lower.
Yeah.
I just remembered a couple of passes of what he's doing. Like one to Cole Palmer was like a low-driven pass, and it did get intercepted, but that could have went to somewhere dangerous. And where he pinged off to the left of the box somewhere, like that could have went off somewhere, a goal if it didn't get like tackled last second, basically, intercepted. Sorry.
I mean, Ahmed, I don't know if you're in character right now, but I am curious as to what your thoughts are on it. So, if you recall last game against Aston Villa, I did say that I don't think Poch changed anything in terms of tactics going into this. I think he played the same exact tactics he was trying against Liverpool, same exact tactics he was trying against Wolves. It ended up working out against Unai Emery because he didn't prepare for the tactics. And I think today is another example of playing the same exact tactics that he had against Aston Villa, and it just didn't work out. But he got lucky at the end because Conor Gallagher saved his ass. I mean, do you agree with that, or do you think differently on that?
I'm not too sure on that one still, mate. I'm not too sure about that one. Personally, for me, again, I feel like
Poch is trying to fit the circle into the square hole this whole entire
season. I feel like we give Poch too much stick on this one, in my personal opinion.
All right, you're still in character, so now I
think for me, when you look at Pochettino, right, he has tactics. Like, you see in the second half, he's able to make the changes that are necessary to help us to win the game. What do you mean by that? I think in the first half in particular, I just think what happened was a lot of bad luck. I feel like we didn't start so well. The players themselves were a bit jiggity to begin with, if you know what I mean. And
Wait, did you just say the players were jiggly?
No, jiggity. Jiggity means that they're shaky.
Jiggity. Oh, okay.
Jiggity, yeah.
Okay.
Again, I know Casually FC, casual English too, you know what I mean? Not high class English like myself.
Jiggly would have made sense as well. You are so shameless, Prime.
What the?
Listen, I just wanted to continue on further. Listen, I think obviously Madueke didn't have a great game, but at the end of the day, these are young players. They gotta have some low moments and high moments. We just got and then they gotta travel with these guys. Now,
sure,
tactically, in the first half, we didn't work out so well. But again, it's down to our manager was able to get the tactics right in the second half and fix the game for us. So, should we not be praising him for at least being able to understand that something was going wrong and change the game? Should we not?
Well, can I ask you what you think those changes were? What were the impactful changes that he made?
Again, this is something that you and I have spoken about previously, which is this, and it's quite simple. You and I both know.
And I'm not trying to poke fun at your theory. I just genuinely want to know what you think it was, because I think he was throwing paint at the wall. But go ahead.
So for me, I think the thing that he changed the most was that Madueke and Palmer situation. Now, you guys have heard of me multiple times on the stream previously, in my unpositive era, and I speak upon the fact that those two don't work really well together. They occupy the same area, they occupy the same space. So and plus, you now also have someone like Gusto who's going to be overlapping too. You got too many cooks on that side. Like you need to have at least two that can at least understand. And as such, if you're going to play Madueke and Palmer can't play, if that makes sense, because they're too left way. And as such, for me, that was the main reason why. But we move on. Now, I think for me, obviously, going back to it, big up Conor Gallagher, as a Gallagher stan, the original Gallagher stan in this chat, all five other guys, here who are criminals. I told you about this guy, he has the ability, whether or not he has the ability to
I'm not letting you have that, Ahmed. I'm not letting you have that.
He just told us.
Because yes, he may have been Gallagher stan when he was at Palace, but the past, 2 seasons now, you've been throwing him under the bus and trying to fit in with the rest of us, saying that we're get rid of him. Don't pretend like you've been backing him.
Just like in life, we have high and low moments, and that's what we need to go through again. A lot of the time,
you're shameless. There's no high and low.
I think there is high and low moments. But listen, at the end of the day, let's
No,
move
you're
on from
shameless.
Gallagher. Listen, I want to give a big shout out to my guy Sterling. You know what I mean? My guy Sterling, of course.
Oh
you know,
my
My
God.
nice.
You know what I mean? He was able to come off the bench.
I'm just losing, man. I can't. Every time I win, I just lose.
He was able to come off the bench and really have an impact onto the game, help to create for us, to create channels.
Are you guys hearing this? Are you guys actually? No one's gonna say anything. You're letting this
listen,
happen
I'm letting
right
him
now.
cook, man. I'm letting him cook.
Let him
Again,
cook.
listen,
Let him dig his own grave.
I thought you won the war. I thought you won the war. All this about winning the
Listen,
war. All this about freaking
listen,
all Sterling, jiggling Batsky,
Listen.
all this, and now you're coming out with deflated chest saying Sterling, my guy, thank you, Scoliosis Sterling.
listen, for me,
You're the guy.
for me, I'm here for the positivity. There's too much negativity in this chat. I'm just
He's
here
still
to
in
provide
character, guys.
some positive energy. So that's why I'm here to do. So I've been
I
in,
think Chelsea broken.
listen, at the end of the day, man, I like what I'm seeing. We want to move on. Chelsea soon come, next game Man City. We know we do well against the big team, so I think we can get a point on from there before we head out to face Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. So listen, man, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. Listen, man, up the shelves, up to everyone. I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy too.
I can't. No, you're going backstage, bro.
Who's
This guy,
Let's
this
go
guy,
backstage,
Prime.
yeah? We'll go
Can you
backstage.
call out this fraud, please?
What?
Can you please call out this fraud, Ahmed, for his sins? Do you hear how he's talking right now?
Listen, like, I don't know what you guys expect from Ahmed. He's no, don't bring him back. Let me speak because he's gonna interrupt me. Don't bring him back. Don't bring him back. Like, you guys should know Ahmed Abdi by now. Like, the guy's Somalian, but he thinks he can speak on AFCON business. He's a Havertz stan. He was a Gallagher stan when he was at Palace. This guy cusses Tuchel, but the only reason Gallagher has a Chelsea career and he's Chelsea captain is because Tuchel said that this guy's a new Kante and made him a key part of our squad.
Ooh.
When Gallagher came and he started off great, we all know Ahmed was the biggest Gallagher stan speaking. But when Gallagher started playing badly, Ahmed was like, you know what, give him time. He's this, he's that, he's a good player, yada, yada, yada. When it got so untenable, he switched. He's so shameless. He couldn't stand on business and defend his own player. At least one thing I'll give Havertz and Mount stands. One thing I'll give Johnny, he's consistent. Say what you want about him. Yeah, he's old, he's a geezer, he's a racist.
Damn.
Johnny stands on business. Johnny will stand on business and defend his guy to the death. At least that's the one thing I can respect about him. Ahmed, I do not respect you. You don't stand on business. You did not defend this past year. This past season, you have not defended Gallagher. You've thrown him under the bus. Now he scores a brace in a game, 3 goals in a week, and you think he can come out of the closet and pause. Well, maybe
He
not
said,
pause.
come
I don't
out of
know.
the closet.
But you
There's no
think he
pause
can come
on
out
that
of the
one.
closet and start going to the forefront and saying, I've been defending him all this time. No, we've seen this.
Okay, I can't
You've seen
stand
this
seeing
you
Ahmed in
haven't
the
been
back.
defending him.
Listen,
Don't do
listen,
this.
again,
Don't do this.
again,
Next
again,
game
I'm not,
against City,
I'm not, again, listen, I am a fan. Listen, let me speak.
I'm not done.
No. I need to have the mayhem ensue. There was too much cooking.
I want to agree with Prime. I want to agree with Prime. I want to agree with Prime. I want to
When
agree
he
with
drops
Prime.
0 out of 10, what are you going to say then? What are you going to say then when he drops a stinker?
I would like to first say I understand Prime's point of view, and I would like to agree with his point of view about myself when I speak on Conan Galladino. But as with any player, you have the highs, you have the lows. So
but you got to stand on business. At least me with James, right? At least I'm consistent with James. When he has a good game, I'll still say he's fat. I'm consistent. You are not consistent.
Listen, I prefer to not be consistent because then I can win anytime. I win and I lose. Because
then you can win any time. Okay.
I'm always losing. I'm just losing, man. I can't. Every time I win, I just lose.
Expected losses for Ahmed, man. That's his stat
listen,
today.
all right, listen, All right, I'm gonna break character now. This is like okay. Honestly, though, seriously, from speaking about the game, right? That first half was absolutely terrible, boys. Like,
Jesus Christ, the complete 180 is crazy.
That shit
Okay,
was
yeah, speak on it,
disgusting.
Ahmed.
No, but like again, like I think when you look at the first half, and you said this before, I've said this before. He sets these guys up for failure. That's the problem. Like we're always just tactically set up for failure, and then there's also the thing of like the fact that the players themselves kind of came out not 100% themselves either. So that didn't help either. So we had like an L and an L on top of each other, if that kind of makes sense, right? That's what really happened in the first half. And obviously you had the goal. Now I don't know, I don't know if you guys had Czech said apparently if he'd moved 1 yard forward, apparently he could have saved that goal. That's what
Add a hand
Czech.
to it. Well, yeah, you could add a hand.
No. That's what he said apparently. So
I mean, Pericek also said that we should buy Mendy. No one cares what Grandpa thinks.
all right, that's what he said, not myself.
No one cares what Grandpa thinks. I'll be so real.
All right, fair enough. And that's his opinion. I respect Czech's opinion.
I do.
He does know his goalkeeper now. It doesn't matter.
I don't respect him.
Okay, listen. Okay, honestly, Sterling when he came on did jack shit. I'll be honest with you. I told you, man. The war has been won now. The war has been won. I told you.
There's the real Ahmed. There he is.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
I'm the Somali Pirates, bro. I told you I was going to win the war.
Beans on my toast.
Yes, I told you, man.
This is Ahmed. This is Ahmed. I told you I was gonna win the war. When I lose, I'm always losing, bro. But I told you.
Oh my god! But listen, I told you though, Marshall, that I was gonna win the war. All of this, I used to tell Marshall. I used to come and stream him up. Man, starting to score goal. This is man, yeah, that's what he used to do every single time. Yeah, and now what? Now what are you saying now? Shut up.
I mean, to be fair, he did come on and he was involved in the play that got us the winning goal. So
What key passes? How can I key passes now?
Yeah, key pass. I mean, Scott, speak on Sterling's key pass right there, man.
Were you not hyping up key passes with Gallagher when he was dropping? Never mind. Sorry, you're shaming. I forgot. Never mind.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my days. Well, that was a trip right there. I mean, Scott, what are your thoughts on the game and Sterling's key passes?
We were terrible. Like, we were awful.
Guys, breaking news. We found out. Do you know why? So we found out the reason why Lampard got the job for the first era. Apparently, Petr Cech. Apparently, because Petr Cech was at the club. By the way, he just joined the club. When they were doing the hiring process, he said we should bring in Frank Lampard. That's how we got him.
Allegedly.
No, he said it from his mouth. Verbatim, it's from his mouth.
Listen, did I not just say?
Check his enemy of progress.
I want to say Lampard's first stint at first.
They're not just saying 3 minutes ago. You should stop listening to Grandpa. That's the guy you want to listen. That's your legend. That's who you want to listen to. That's your legend.
Fuck yes, he's a legend.
Not my legend.
No, he's not a legend. He's like one of our best players.
Chris, I said not my legend.
He literally helped. He's one of the reasons why we won the Champions League.
Listen,
like he's not a legend.
Not my legend. Listen, you're recommending Fat
all
Frank.
the saves he was doing for this club. He's not a legend.
Listen,
how many clean sheets he kept for his club?
Chris, no one cares what you
saves
think.
he did.
No one cares what you think. No one cares what you think, Chris. Anyway, not my legend, man. You're recommending Frank for my club.
I want to know who your legends are.
Yeah, okay, I'll speak on that later.
Like, we cut off Scott. Like,
You want to know who my legends are?
Breaking news.
I know John Obi Mikel's one of them.
Yeah, he is one of the legends.
I want to say
he has done anything stupid post playing career.
Number two might be Essien, but I don't remember.
Why? Because he's African, Marshall?
I think you rate African players a lot. Yeah. I don't know who a third.
They're great players.
Did you rate David Luiz? I think you like David Luiz a lot too.
I like David Luiz. I wouldn't say he's a cult hero. I would say he's
yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Legend. Like, you can put either.
All right, but bringing it back to the game, love the banter, but Do you guys like that he didn't change really anything about the lineup minus Badiashile, who was obviously injured?
Didn't mean anything.
I would say like maybe it's time to actually try to play Colwell with Tasasi at centre back because like Silva.
Well, yeah,
is
I was
Hey,
actually going to ask that next.
like now
That's a
like
blessing. That injury is a blessing, by the way. That injury is a blessing. I don't care.
For
Thank
who?
fuck for that. That injury is a blessing.
oh, Diogo Silva is he actually injured?
That's a
or is
blessing,
he-
bro. I
think
still
he
have
we
was
came
injured
off.
first.
Yeah, I know he came up, but it doesn't mean he's out for like months or weeks. Really,
Hey,
it could be
no,
like
he
little-
good. I hope he is.
He's out for at least the
God
next
damn,
game.
man!
Okay.
Like, can't
Yeah.
help him, man. He's 4 years
Bro,
old.
no, I don't care. Like, this is going to be the same as the Sanchez injury. It's going to be a blessing in disguise. Because it now means that Poch actually has to play Sassy with someone else and start building an actual partnership that's going to be
You
here
play
for more than like 2
Caicedo
more
as centre
months.
back.
Also, anyone else notice how? Because I mentioned this in the Discord. Anyone else notice how Caicedo didn't drop between the centre backs anymore when Silva went off because he hasn't got a 39-year-old liability to cover.
Yeah, like with
Jesus
Thiago
Christ.
Silva, he was in that like between
He's
those
a
centre backs
liability.
a lot.
He's 39 and he's
Sure.
showing his age. He's fallen off a cliff, same as
You could have
Azpilicueta.
said that. You could have said that without mentioning his age, man.
Wait,
Like,
wait,
why you
wait,
be
oh, wait.
ageist, man.
Wait, so Scott, I assume Caicedo dropping into between the centre backs was Poch's doing. You think it was just Caicedo doing it himself?
Oh no, I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, but I think it was done because
I agree.
of Silva. Because we weren't doing it anywhere near as much or as it wasn't as egregious as it was today against Villa when Silva wasn't playing. It wasn't anywhere near as noticeable. It wasn't to the detriment of the team. The only person we changed today was Silva. The only person we changed in the whole team, and yet our build-up was different.
Yeah,
He's just
right.
garbage.
Right,
People
can I
need to
say
accept he's
something?
39 and he's garbage now.
How
And
long was he injured for?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably
Hopefully
not
at least a
long.
month. The same as
Yeah,
Badiashile.
guys, I just want to say something. Do you notice, when Gilchrist came on, he scored
Oh,
2
he
goals?
stinks.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about this guy, man. Oh my god.
Oh, hold on, Scott and Oliver. Now you
Things
guys
like month-old milk.
you see how I
Prime, I've
set
been here.
trends and eventually no, Oliver. I was the first one to speak on Gurkus. Don't do this. I set trends.
I didn't
and
say you
eventually-
weren't, but I've been here.
Eventually, I've been speaking on James for the longest. Now people want to catch up.
No.
No, but the thing is, Prime, the reason you spoke
I
on
spoke
Gilchrist is
on Gallagher when he was at West Brom that he was bad. Now people want to catch up.
No.
the thing is, Prime, what you did
You
with
trying
Gilchrist, you got ahead of the curve by just saying after he played like 2 minutes that he was shit. I had to wait
Because
until
he's not good.
No,
See,
but
I-
Prime, the thing was, I had to wait until I'd seen enough. I've seen enough. He's cheeks. He stinks.
What is his like normal position? Is this centre back or?
Oh no,
Center back,
on the
I
bench
believe.
Yeah.
as a builder,
No.
as an electrician, bro. It ain't a footballer. I'm saying now. He's an electrician. He's a fucking electrician.
Bro, he looks like he has
he gets
the
put right back a
the
lot.
full moon, you know, the plumber's
Nah,
crack.
he's-
He looks like he would have a plumber's crack.
He's not an electrician. He's a thug.
Listen, man.
Oh.
Listen, man. Stop hating on Gilchrist, man. Future captain.
Shut up.
Listen,
Listen, if he
Captain leader.
Listen, if he
legend.
captains this club, I'll stop supporting him. So.
why not? Hey, man. Hey, you're not proper Chelsea, man. You're not proper Chelsea, bro.
No, I'm not proper Charles. I'm black. I'm not proper Charles. Come on, no.
He's not lying.
Oh
Can't lie.
my days. Ahmed, don't look.
I got him, but I had no reply. That's what you got me, man.
I prefer really not to speak. Anyways, yeah. So
Yeah, we're shit.
next game,
Listen, man.
are we
Chelsea,
doing Colwell then?
Listen,
Yes.
man.
Haaland's
Yes.
gonna have a field day.
It's either Colwell or
Chalobah.
Gilchrist.
Chalobah. No, I can't do Chalobah.
Shut
man.
up, man.
Chalobah's bad. Chalobah's,
Gilchrist.
yeah, no.
Chalobah
I
hasn't
don't think
Ahmed,
Chalobah's ready
Chalobah's
yet.
better than Stasi, right?
Chalobah hasn't played games all
Did
season.
I say that?
anyway,
Have I
so-
ever said that comment?
No,
He's better right back into Sassy.
no, you didn't. I'm just saying. That's what Chelsea
I-
Twitter says. And Chelsea
you know
Twitter
what?
is the truth.
You know what, man? I hope he plays because when he gets put into a spliff, yeah, man, then they're gonna start calling him that fucking.
Well,
you know
it's
what I
gonna
mean?
be a
Hey,
little bit.
you said it, not me. I was thinking it, but you said it, not
It's
me.
probably gonna be a little bit shaky.
Guys,
this one. He's been
Chalobah
out for like 4 or 5 months.
Chalobah hasn't played games all season, so it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to just throw him in now.
I think like introduce him as a bench, like
It'll
in the
be-
FA Cup games, like stuff like that.
It'll be Colwell and Sassy.
You hope.
Well, there's
You know
no
what,
hope. Like, it
man?
won't be. There's no
Well,
one else.
you don't
You
know
know
the
what,
pod.
guys,
You might play Caicedo or something back or
Chris,
something with like
Chris,
Disasi.
Chris, you never know. Maybe, you know what I mean? Where's these foreigners going to play? You know what I mean, Mark? Isn't it? You know what I mean? We should have missed them now.
Where's
Isn't it?
he? He's got the boots on.
Hey, Mark, he's got the
Oh,
We told you,
by
man.
the way, by the way,
Yeah, hey, Mark, isn't that right, buddy?
what's wrong with
Hey,
Ahmed?
man.
Well,
Can't
actually,
always get it right on, man.
by the way, guys, I didn't actually watch the game.
Oh, my
Are you serious?
You're lucky, man.
No, I was.
I mean, to be honest, you didn't miss much.
You
All
didn't
you
miss
need to do is watch the highlights. To be
I
honest,
was-
Game, man. You missed the
I
quality game.
was asleep and drinking my sorrows. So. But from the highlights, like
pick on it, Prime.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Prime, it's 24 hours and you can't get over it, man.
You gotta give it longer
Sure you
than
can't
that.
get over it?
listen. Anyway, yeah, back to I didn't watch this game. I saw highlights.
That's all you need to really watch.
It seemed like in the first half, judging from highlights, I was very like end to end. Right?
No, we just hold possession. That's it.
Yeah, we just held possession.
Just terrible.
It was just.
They was the one creating the chances. We was the one holding the ball. That's what
It took us till the 45th minute to do our first shot on target, I think.
No, we missed a shot. I thought was it on
No,
target.
sorry. Our first shot, just in general.
Yeah, first shot, not on target.
45 minutes.
Yeah, it was bad.
Our first shot on target was the Gallagher goal.
Yeah, I mean, we won. I guess that's a good thing. We play City next, and then we have the cup final. We're just these fugazi wins we're picking up. It's just delaying his sacking, but whatever, man.
He's having a Potter effect. I'm a Potter, but we were just winning some.
Nah, it's the Ollie. It's the Ollie. It's a lot of bounce.
No, it was Potter because Potter had that 3-game winning streak. And
Yeah. And Ollie did as well. These guys are playing against us and trying to take the shot.
I felt like Ollie did it more consistent now, like longer.
Listen, Pep, you have one job. 7-0. They will
never sack him after Man City though, because they'll be like, that's Man City.
Okay, and we have a cup final to lose 3-0.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I don't think we'll lose 3-0. It's cup finals.
Anything
can happen in the final.
Wait. Chris. We just lost 4-1 to them 2 weeks ago. What?
Yeah,
so
but like, you know, like
logically speaking, we can lose them 3-0.
Yeah, we lost the Leicester. We lost the Leicester
Let's just be
final.
real. That game against Liverpool we played. If we're gonna be real, they weren't even that good.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. No one said this. I'll be honest. They weren't that good. We were just that
Liverpool.
Bad. Yeah,
they did
I don't think they were that good against us. I'm
shit.
sorry.
Which is
I
shit.
think we were that bad.
I mean,
You're right. We actually gifted the whole left wing to our left side to Bradley.
Connor Bradley.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking on that left side as well, today was a big example of that left side just being non-existent and inefficient. I mean, Curry Pirate, I'd be interested to ask what you would do to really fix up on that, or actually, what do you think is the problem? Like, I know it's easy to just say Chilwell and all this and that, but like, what's the solution for that left side? Because today, I think we use Malo Gusto so much, we actually tired the guy out before 90 minutes.
I honestly think it is Chilwell and Odo.
But before you go, how many more pictures do you have?
Oh, I have a lot. Don't worry. I told you.
Oh, okay.
Slideshow.
Got a nice character.
Older.
It's like, as you can see, Chilwell provides us nothing. To be frank with you,
I can barely hear you, bro.
Your audio is really bad, man.
Yeah, can you
If you
just put the microphone a little closer?
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you a bit better now.
A little better, yeah.
I should just come back to me.
We don't want to hear your slander.
I just want to say,
man.
to Poch's excuse, yeah. So
Okay.
the way Poch is trying to fix it, was that he puts like a midfielder whenever Chilwell goes forward into that left back space. Remember, because we were saying why is Enzo playing left back? Why we saw Gallagher at times do it in the first half, because he knows that basically Chua hasn't got the recovery pace. The problem is, maybe if you do maybe a 3 at the back, it could work where maybe you could then have him just go forward and you at least know you have a centre back that's going to be definitely covering that area.
We don't have enough centre backs though.
But we don't have enough centre backs right now, so that's the problem. Or what you do maybe because Caicedo is that the one that's going to be playing the deepest in his system, you maybe get him to be a bit more covering on that left hand side, and maybe you get Enzo to sit a bit more deeper rather than keep on going forward and acting like a second striker to actually do it. You have 2 holding midfield at the very least there, but that's the only thing I can think of really. Because Gusto is cooked, by the way. Like he's gonna have another muscle overload quite soon if we're not careful.
Yeah, I think today we were definitely abusing the guy on the right-hand side. We saw it for that whole second half. It was just the attacks were only coming from his side. I guess speaking on that whole Enzo thing, Andrew, I don't think you're going to agree with me on this one, but I'm going to say it anyways. I genuinely think, I don't think Poch is telling these players where to go, where to play. I genuinely think Enzo is thinking independently and putting himself in the positions that we see him, where whether it be up in the attack, up on the left wing or left back, or staying in the middle. Like I genuinely think it's just Enzo kind of going off of his own instinct and seeing what he can do best to service the team in whatever state of play we're in. Do you agree, or I mean, where do you stand with?
Totally disagree. You can tell by the both
halves.
halves.
Yeah, I figured as much.
You can tell by both halves. Caicedo was playing as a third centre back in the first half, majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo's in the middle, sort of, but there's a big gap between them. Second half, they're closer together. Of course, it's Poch showing them that. We saw it in the game with Villa, or whoever sets up with Villa, because I don't think it was Poch. Looking at the first half today, you know what I mean? No, I disagree. I think you can. No. I think the players are a bit young. I don't think Enzo's got the arrogance yet to actually start doing that. He dictates it, so I still think he'll listen to the manager, and I think he should do what you said. What you're saying, what you think he did. I'm saying he should do that. He's not doing that. He's following.
He should have more of a free role.
He should do that. He should dictate. That's his best position. We saw it again. Okay, today it wasn't as good as Villa, but again, it was far better. We were far better in the second half in terms of having the ball. Creating the chances, we were still, between the goals, very lacking in terms of clear-cut chances today. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that, and we all feared it at the start. The first time we said, Poch, just keep the same game plan as Villa. He didn't do it. He didn't do it again. Yeah, Caicedo was a third centre-back for a bulk of that half. We had all that possession and no game plan whatsoever. It was terrible. And then, he changed it. Very well done. He changed it. Good job. But don't do that. Actually, go with this from now on. Even at City, when we'll probably get dominated and battered, fine. But still go with it after that. We see how much, even if we're not creating the chances, how much control we have more of the game. Okay, it was against Palace, so what? But we had more control of the game against Villa. Do you know what I mean? How much control we have of that game when we have the two of them closer together. Caicedo's not at the moment. Is not a 6th defensive midfielder that we want him to be. Okay, so before he can actually evolve into that, or before we get Lavia back or whatever, you need to have them closer together. Once you have a Lavia back and you want to play all 3, that's fine. But you need to have them closer together. And there's no doubt that, again, the old cliche, a game of 2 halves, was never more seen than today's game for us. We had total control of that second half. Okay, we had total control. They set us up to get us to goal in the second half. But once again, we didn't have a clear enough chances until we scored. That's the problem then. So Poch's job is very easy. Set us up to get to goal, and that's your big problem right there. When you get to goal, it's the decision making going forward, and they're taking up the chances and having a natural instinct instead of taking one extra touch or not being brave enough to pass the ball through. But going back to originally what you said, Enzo, I want Enzo to do that, but he's not doing. He is following the manager's instructions like they all are. They're following the manager's instructions to a T. Just that sometimes, most times the manager's instructions are utter shit, as we saw in that first half. I have no idea what we were doing. We all said it. Bring Thiago in, okay, it was because of injuries, no problem. Cole was only just come back.
Sure.
And no problem. But we all saw it, what the problem was. Thiago Silva gets the ball, in the back, starts pointing here and there, like what? Like where you're going to put the ball, because then you're just telling people what you're going to do, right? But slows down the ball. We then this is what a low block parking the bus team wants in a team like us. Wants us to have the ball, but we don't do anything. We created one chance, I think, in the first half that Gallagher hit wide, and then you saw the difference. The slight changes. Okay, Thiago Silva was still on the pitch for a bulk of that second half, but just the change in midfield helped. We get the ball out wider, start using the right hand side. What got as good as Gusto was, what he has to work on is his crossing going forward. I think he has to work on that. But we still have to make better decisions in the final third, and that's what's killing us. Palmer got 2 assists tonight, but I don't think he had a good game tonight.
No,
I think most of his passing was like just hit and hope. If I'm being honest with you, there was no direct. There was no. We done what we always do. We got to the penalty area, and then we go. Instead of being instinct and going, I'm going to put it in there, or it was like take an extra touch or go backwards. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like brave enough, and that was it. It was individual moments of brilliance today. And Gallagher took the 2 goals, so you're going to have to praise him for taking the 2 goals. It was good, and then Enzo got the 3rd. But I thought that I was just on the terrace, and I was trying to explain that I thought we got away with a win. Not that we were going to lose. I didn't think we were ever going to lose. What I'm saying is we got away of a win from only taking a draw. We stole a win from the jaws of a draw. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We definitely did. I agree.
We were so inept in the final third. It was like, because I'm not sitting here going, oh my god, that Palace goalkeeper. I can't believe we didn't score because the Palace goalkeeper had a man of the match display. Nope. I can't remember.
We barely tested him. Only 5 shots on target today.
Barely tested him whatsoever. Entire match. He conceded 3. He conceded 3, and I don't think we made him make a save.
No, I think it's blocked or in the net. We're just clinical today. That's it.
No, I think
You don't think? I thought it was clinical because we didn't have many shots.
No, we weren't clinical.
I thought we. Listen, I thought the clinical in terms of the 2 chances that went on goal went in. I don't really count the 3rd goal because I think Palace's heads just dropped after exceeded that last minute goal by Gallagher.
That is true, but it still happened.
So, but I don't care because we've got an extra goal and that's fine. But I don't think we were like. It's just frustration again. It's not as if we went in on goal and we just hit it wide or we hit the post or something like that and we were clinical. Clinical in terms of I don't know. How can you be clinical with a guy like Gallagher? You know what I mean? No, I'm not dissing, but do you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I understand with Gallagher. Yeah, Gallagher's scoring 2 goals.
He can't be clinical with Gallagher.
He's not a clinical guy. I know he
scored. Do you know what I mean? He's not clinical.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? He was clinical. He was clinical. No, he was clinical because he only had 2 shots.
Yeah.
So he was clinical. You're absolutely right. But in terms of his own overall team, we didn't create enough to be clinical. That's what I'm saying. We're not, or to be not clinical and go.
For me, that's why it was clinical because we didn't have many shots and they went in. That's what I mean. But I understand. Yeah, we didn't create anything, especially the first half. We only had like 1 shot and it just went about wide. That's about it. And then the other shots, the first like 50 seconds we scored, and and then we were slow again. We were just slow, and finally getting our goal. But that's what I thought was clinical.
I've got a stat about that. I've got a fact about that first half, by the way. So you guys know Opta, like the stats database. So in that first half, that was the most. It says Chelsea had the most passes without a shot on target in 45 minutes since Opta records began in 2003. Literally, like a 20-year historical worst. It was bad. So the tweet says Chelsea had the most passes without a shot on target in 45 minutes since Opta records began in 2003-2004.
That's not very good.
What does that mean? Like we tried to create and
we had the most passes without a shot on target.
Yeah, we're just passing for the sake of passing back.
So of all the teams since 03-04 that had no shots on target in 45 minutes, we had the most passes.
Yeah.
Or just doing nothing with the ball.
It was like watching paint dry. It was bad. Like watching that first half, I thought how was Chelsea gone from Villa to that?
Listen, I've seen highlights. Was the first half not end to end though?
No, not at all.
No, it wasn't.
We only had our first shot.
No, but
Because it's
no,
highlights.
not
It chops up the
You need to
it
watch
chops
it.
up the transitions and all that.
Well, no, not end to end, but I mean in terms of like, it's. I don't know. I'm just going from.
You know,
I
watching
watched the game.
highlights
I'm going
and
from
watching the game.
highlights.
Yeah, I know you.
And
You said
it
you ain't watching
shows that
Yeah.
Palace had like a lot of attacks going forward or chances
No,
going
they
forward.
didn't. They didn't.
No?
What they had is they had a couple of counter attacks. Their first shots were tame shots until they scored that goal. That's all they had.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't like it's going to say the stats going to say that they had more shots on target. The first stuff, fine, and the goal is a great goal, by the way. But their other shots were just like pass backs. They were just literally they were like right at. It was like our efforts most of the second half. We were just right at the goalkeeper, like Palmer's shots. They were just like that essentially. That's what they were set up to do. That was the whole point of how they were set up to do their bus routine. And that's what I say, the possession is the most meaningless stat in football unless you do something with it. We had about 90% possession some periods during that half, and we just went side to side or backwards like that. We didn't do anything with it whatsoever. That's what I said, the game plan. I have no idea what the game plan was the first half. I have no idea. It was there's crimes in football I will not accept, and being boring is one I will not accept. That's the highest one. One of the highest ones. Being boring for my own team. I just said it on the terrace. I was not going to watch that second half, and I was going to wait for the notifications. And it got 15 minutes past what I thought the regular second half was starting, and then I realised that no, their game was delayed by 15 minutes because the guys fingered one. So I had to watch the whole fucking second half, didn't I? So it was like that. So
Come on, man. Listen, you got back the team. Come on, man. Go back the team, mate. You know.
bro.
Go back the team, mate.
Bro. I tell you what. Do you know what? If I was in that away end for that first half, I would have stormed the pitch. I would have.
Oh my god!
There's been performances where we played really badly in terms of the opposition to score goals in us, but that game, that first half, we were so boring. That is a crime. If you I don't mind like going away to Barcelona and the new camp and playing like that, but not against Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
Selhurst Park when they're missing Elise, Eze, Gertie, and Decore.
But Surfer,
That's
it
very
doesn't
true.
matter because when Sterling gets dropped and Gallagher scores a brace and we win, it doesn't matter how bad we play.
Yeah, man. Thank God that happened.
That was sarcasm, by the way.
Wow, that was a sarcasm from me there.
Also, yeah, that shot from Lerma. Why are we allowing him to shoot from distance?
Because we made 2 errors leading up to it.
Madueke mistake.
It was a broke down.
That was his first goal of the season. That wasn't like
That
Wow.
goal was a broken down counter attack. So Disasi got skinned first because he got pulled wide, but then we win the ball.
That's where it started. Gusto lost the ball. That's where it started. And then Disasi got skinned.
Yeah, Gusto had a bad first half, great second half, but bad first half. But yeah, Gusto loses it. Disasi gets done by Mateta, right?
Yep.
And then I think Mateta puts the ball into the box. We clear it and we start a counter. Noni gives the laziest pass ever to Caicedo, and then Caicedo loses the ball. And then he has all the space in the world because Caicedo's been eliminated from the equation pretty much.
And
So he
Caicedo
shoots.
also got fouled. I mean, also say that. He did get fouled. When you see the highlight, you saw.
It was a
Man.
foul.
He wasn't.
got
He wasn't in complete control of the ball.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I disagree.
Yeah, it was a bad pass from Madueke. Like
Yeah,
Madueke
yeah,
didn't put
yeah.
enough on that pass for Caicedo to have that.
Yeah, well,
I
give you
just
that, true.
think listen. We'll take the win because I think on Saturday, if we're all logical, we're not taking anything away from the Etihad, right? Right. And then we've got the cup final the week after, which probably doesn't help in timings. What I will say is this: Poch reverted back to type today. He reverted back to type today in terms of how he plays the midfield. The way he put Caicedo, it basically is a back three against this Crystal Palace team, is a crime in itself. The way he leaves Enzo by himself in the middle and Caicedo in the middle sometimes, is especially when we're trying to forge a partnership, and we saw it 5 days ago, literally work against a better team, by the way, is criminal. Okay, the way I honestly I don't blame him for playing Thiago Silva tonight because our injuries dictate that he had to play Thiago Silva. I hope Gusto's not injured and that was just a regular substitution. Because if it's a regular substitution, it doesn't make sense. Still, by the way, if it's a regular substitution to take Gusto off for his new prodigy or his new project in LB Christchurch, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Wow.
It's one of those. I like I said, if he actually, my fear is that he's not an evolved coach, that he won't notice the second half. But if he does notice the second half, that's how you set up us to get to goal. Then your only problem is to focus on making better decisions in front of goal or getting to goal. That's it. That's all that managers need to do, is to set up a good pathway to goal. And at the end of the line, it's up to the players then to take the chances. But you need that's what you need to do first. Okay.
So, real quick, I just want to read this super chat. Thank you, thank you, CNIAC24 for the super chat, the $4.99 super chat. Credit to Gallagher. Both shots were ruthlessly taken and put away nicely. That being said, I hope he turns an ankle.
Oh no!
He turns an ankle in training so Carney can get some run of games.
Yeah, I like Carney to get more minutes.
I do.
Shame on you. Injuries on our own players, man. Shame on you.
Nah, fuck that. I don't care anymore. Like I said what I said about Sterling, not Sterling, Silva, and I'll say it again.
Sterling, Jiggle, and Batty, man. We need Sterling to have a groin injury. So we can
Sterling's not starting, so you can't.
But no, like I'm so glad that I'm so glad that we missed him so much, and everything. I'm so glad that he got the assist against Liverpool and was a bright spot, and he hasn't played in the next 3 games.
Yeah,
I'm really glad that we took Casade's loan from Leicester for no reason to have him involved in the team.
I'm sure you'll be glad to go over the goals.
Surfer, you saying that, like, has he learned from this? Like, let's just be real. If we're gonna go off what's been happening, this season,
no, it's
more
not.
than likely he's not going to learn from this.
No, that's my fear. Our fear was after the Villa game would he revert back to type, and he did. He reverted back to type.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna keep not learning.
Which makes me ponder who set us up for Villa, because I don't think it was him now. That's all.
The thing is, Andrew, like, do you know what's mad is I actually think that some of the ways he set us up today was the same as Villa. The only difference is he did the same thing today with Palmer after the Arsenal game. He sees something happen once and thinks that works for every team. No, because not every team plays the same way. The way Villa play is a lot more open, and their defense isn't as compact, or at least hasn't been recently, as Palace's was. So even though Palace are theoretically a worse team, they just sat in a low block. And even though some of our build-up did change with Silva, but there were still some aspects that were the same as Villa in terms of the way we were playing. But it didn't work against Palace because they weren't as open. They weren't just giving us the ball in attacking areas at every opportunity, and they defended well. So now it's down to us breaking down, and we can't.
I know we won 3-1, but could that game have easily have been a draw?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, not even that. Like, I know this is like if buts and maybes. If they'd had Eze and Elise, we lose that game.
No. Like with the players that was there, could that easily have been a draw?
Oh, it could have been a loss, Prime. If we got to be honest, it could have been a loss.
Because we went 1-0. We went 1-0 down right at halftime.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Scott, is that the second time we've been losing at halftime this season?
In the league, I don't know. Actually, all season, I don't know.
I think no, because against Liverpool. No, because against Liverpool
was a percent.
Is that not the first time we've been losing this season at halftime?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Then we did it again at Wolves.
Wolves, yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Given the players that there, I didn't feel we were ever going to lose. My point was that the scoreline flatters us because I think we got away with a win today, and that's fine. But it's not sustainable unless you're like Man United to go on like a 5-game winning run now and again.
Yeah. And I mean? So if you look at the performances, forget the goals a second. Every person who started while Petrovic was crap.
Yeah, they're all not. That first half was absolutely.
Even forget I'll be real. Even forget the first half with some of them, like just the game. Like Palmer was better when he went to the right because he's not a striker.
Oh, yeah,
but even so, he wasn't great today. Caicedo was shit. Chilwell terrible. Gusto was terrible in the first half, got better in the second half. Silva terrible. Enzo was horrible today. He was horrid.
Palmer had a bad game today. Don't let the two assists for you. He had a bad game today. Very bad.
Yeah, no, Palmer had a bad performance. I don't know if Enzo
my
was
thing is-
horrible, but he definitely
he was
wasn't
horrible.
nearly his best.
My
I-
thing
I-
is,
I just think he's like the rest of them,
Poch
basically.
will set us up in a certain way in terms of lineup, but he won't coach it properly. Like
No,
he'll
that's kind of my issue.
He'll play Palmer up top, and like I think Palmer as a false nine does actually work, but he won't do that. He won't coach it. He'll just throw him up as a striker
And
just
hope for the best. Let him
Like-
figure it out.
It's so annoying.
Mhm. I mean, let's
So-
go
said
over
it
this
before,
first goal, by
I
the
think-
way.
He just gives these man free rolls. In attack, he just gives these man free rolls and just say, do whatever you want. Like, just
Yeah,
vibes.
I can definitely see that. I mean,
I'll be back.
so, I asked you guys earlier about the lineup, and in my opinion, I don't really have many issues with the lineup. If anything, I kind of like that he stuck with the same lineup minus Thiago Silva. Obviously, Thiago Silva was on, circumstances he couldn't control. He was kind of forced to play Silva. I get that. But also, if I had my preference, I would have wanted Nkunku to start over Gallagher, especially in that number 10 position. But at the same time, I can't be upset with him because he played this lineup that won and performed against Aston Villa. So, seeing that performance, you would hope that you would build off of that performance, and the players that played on the pitch that game would have a boost in confidence going forward. But looking at the goal, we see Gallagher get the cross from Malagusto and, volleys it behind the net. I would argue that a better goalkeeper probably would have saved that because the reaction time wasn't quick enough. But I guess what I like about Gallagher's performance, if I had to be positive about his performance today, was the fact that he's shooting now. And I think we saw him also, he's been shooting a lot more in recent games, which would you guys say that's a part of his game that has been missing most of the season? And now that he's doing it, it does kind of justify allowing him to play in certain games in that 10 position? Not everyone answer at once.
I mean, we're only talking about 2 games here. And this is back to back what he scored against, once against Aston Villa and now 2 today. Like, for all we know, this could be a purple patch. At the end of the day, Gallagher has not been a consistent goal-scoring midfielder since Crystal Palace. And even then, you can argue that there was a certain point in that season with Palace where it dried up for him. So you can probably even say he hasn't been a consistent goal-scoring midfielder since his first loan at Charlton. So we don't know. Like, look, I don't know. Like, would I want him to? I want him to score more goals. Like, I didn't want him in this team in the first place. When he came back under Tuchel, I didn't want him. But if there was one sacrifice I was going to make, where you know what, I don't like him, but I'll take this aspect. It's the goals, and we haven't had that enough from him. So I'd need to see it in far more games for a far more consistent basis before I come to any kind of conclusions that he should still be in the number 10 for his goal scoring ability, quote unquote.
But let's assume he starts being more consistent, at least with his shooting, right? Maybe he won't get a goal every single game, but he'll start shooting. Then would you, I guess I'll ask Oliver and then you guys can answer how you wish, but I guess Oliver, would you mind less if he were to start shooting more often from that 10 position?
That's not the problem though, because he does shoot. The stat was that before today before at some point in the season, he was the player who had the most shots on target without scoring a goal in the Premier League.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So the number of shots isn't the problem. The problem is having the finishing ability in those shots.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, does anyone disagree with that, or does anyone see where I'm coming from and agree that
he just sucks? Like, he just sucks. Like, people will say, "Oh, he scored 2 goals today. He saved us." Or he did really well with the goals he scored. Like, he finished his chance as well. He was still arse in this game. He was not good.
The thing I put it down to, like, anyone that wants to,
like, outside the goals, right? I understand he scored outside the goals, and Kunku came on today and showed him levels in terms of, like, how a footballer plays, how a number 10, how a second striker plays. And Nkunku is levels better than him. Levels.
You don't even have to talk about Nkunku. Tell me Carney can't do the things that Gallagher did today and more.
True. Very true.
Carney came back
Carney
and
can
immediately
do-
got an assist in his first game. Immediately. In his first game.
Yeah. You know, Carney's been great in the small spurts that we've seen him. And I agree with you guys.
Hang on, it's taken how many games for Gallagher to get 2 league goals? Like,
Oh yeah,
what
this
we
is
on,
his first.
20,
Yeah, his first league goal. Yeah.
23. Cool. Isn't Nkunku on 2 league goals already? And it's played like 5 games in the league.
He's on 2 goals in the Premier League for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
played
true.
like, what, 5 games?
Very
Like,
true.
I
I think
don't know
only,
why
what,
Carney
2
didn't
starts?
come on
Multiple
today.
conversations.
That baffled. That
2
one baffled me.
starts.
Can I just say, man?
Mudryk has more than 2 goals, and none of us rate him.
Listen,
And he's
a
played
lot
way
of
less than
I have to say again, the negative, the minuses. Yeah, a lot of electrons, you know, going
Shut
around
up.
here. That
Bro, you're lucky I can't mute you.
What's going on, man? Bro, I'm just trying to bring some positivity here, man. What's the positive, man? Let's give some positives, man. You
I
know
mean,
what
Ahmed, if you want to be positive, talk about Sterling right here. his
Again,
moment.
good pass from him to obviously help to set up Palmer to get into that position, to then pass it into Gallagher. You know what I mean? You have to give credit where credit is due, man. Come on, man.
Hey, no, wait, but speak honestly. When he first did this pass, you were damning him because it went too wide. Didn't you? You're like,
I was in
fucking
the Discord.
Sterling.
I was in Discord with you, bro. I was in my
No, you
character.
held it. You bottled it in. I know you bottled it in.
Nah, man,
I mean, I got to
listen.
give kudos to Gallagher here too. Good to first time shoot it and get it on target.
Strike,
You
yeah.
know, I think it was
Listen, at the end of the day,
a
man,
solid strike.
Gallagher,
Little lucky defender didn't deflect it right there.
Listen,
I
man,
see that,
it's all
but
good, man.
it's
Listen,
good.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it's
all good.
football. It
Sorry,
happens.
man. Gallagher, man. We need to get that contract 150K a week. Get that signed, man.
It's either that or sell him.
Like I said earlier, Ahmed, I hope you wake up tomorrow morning and there's 1,000 ants in your bed, bro.
Damn, man.
I hope you stop your
helpful, man.
I
Listen, I'm
stop
just showing
your little
love, man. I'm just trying to show love, man. You know what I mean? Trying to show love to the team, love to the players. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. Well, what are you saying, Marshall, man? What are you saying? It's getting
It's all
beat
good,
up.
Ahmed. Listen, I'm just saying. Gallagher saved us today, but
You need Gallagher. You
I
like Gallagher,
still-
Marshall, man. You want Gallagher at the football club, innit? You don't want him out of our club, do you?
I'm indifferent. He could go. He could stay. If he does stay, I want him to be a squad player. I don't want him to be a starter. I'd rather have him.
What about Sterling, Marshall? You know, I've never had a conversation about Sterling with you before. So, what are your thoughts on Raheem? You know what I mean? The jiggle batty
Raheem
Sterling.
the Dream. I don't know, man. I've never been a fan of Raheem Dream. I've never been a fan of Raheem the Dream. But listen, it's sometimes you just need. Sometimes it's about getting the results, right? So if he's getting us goals and assists, which I mean, how many goals and assists is he on this season? I don't even know.
I think he's on.
No, Gallagher's got more. I think
if I
Gallagher's
estimate
more
it, like
DNA.
6 goals, 5 assists in the Premier League. If I estimate
Gallagher's
it.
got more DNA than him, so that's what matters.
I don't think that's
Who's this?
true.
Wait,
That's
what?
true.
Gallagher versus Sterling with goals and
GA?
assists.
No.
Yes, he
Sterling has more GNA.
Yeah, well, what you want about?
Sterling has more GNA.
Get out of
Sterling's
your
our
coward.
top
Let's go
assist and our
backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Like Sterling was having a good start, I thought, and then he's dropped off the cliff. He's fell off it.
Well, again, like my issue with Sterling has always been that indecisiveness when you get to the final third, and sometimes just holding that ball for too long. Like it's
Probably
he
his last
does
game
he
was
does
City,
really
wasn't it?
well to like yes, I think that's
Probably.
like his
I'm trying to
last
think.
like man of the
Really
match
good game.
performance, I would say. But like the thing about Sterling is that, and this adds to the frustration. He does so well to drive the ball forward and drive the attack, but when it comes to getting that final third and making that decision, and the better decision, that's where he bottles it. That's where he just like, oh, I'm gonna hold the ball for an extra touch, or I'm gonna, try to dribble past the player here, or pass it when I should be shooting, or trying to go wide, or it's just the decision making isn't there. It's just it's very frustrating with Sterling, but there are moments when he cooks, and when he cooks, sometimes it's just you need that kind of a player. But at the same time, like, I don't know who do you get, or who steps up at left wing when Sterling leaves. I don't trust Mudryk to be that guy.
Don't worry, man. We got someone. I got someone for you. I told you before in the beginning when I was watching in the beginning of the season.
You're talking about Dringa?
I told you, man. I told you about that.
Dringa. Man, we can't afford to sack Poch. What do you mean? I don't know how to say his name, to be honest. I know who he's talking about, though.
Simon Adringa.
Adringa. Yeah, that's what I said. Adringa.
Simon Adringa.
I just didn't put the accent on the I.
No, it's Adingra.
Adingra or Adringa?
No, it's Adingra.
Adingra. Okay, well, there you go. See? Scott the proper AFCON,
All right, chill
So,
out.
No, I just know how to spell, bro. I know how to read words.
I've seen.
he's saying Nico Williams in the left wing.
That's a good take, but I think the issue that you have right now in the left wing, there's no, I would say, proven guy right now. So
I mean, you could just say the issue on the left side. To be honest, it's not even just left wing. It doesn't help that we don't have a good left back.
But if we're just looking specifically just at left wing, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go somewhere with that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, again, unless we actually get a proper left winger, I just don't know. Like, I can't. Maybe Nico Williams is a shout. Antonio Nusa isn't going to happen anymore. Where did Antonio Nusa go? I forgot where he went.
He didn't go anywhere, did he?
No, he did. He did go on a transfer. He got transferred over to. Where did he get transferred to?
Because he was meant to go to Brentford, but then the medical broke down.
Oh shit!
So if you're thinking of Brentford, then that actually didn't happen.
Well, shit, I was thinking of Brentford, and that didn't.
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. So
I mean,
I think he had a knee problem that they cited.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, even then, if we decide to go Antonio Nusa, which has been the one that we've been linked with, I mean, do you guys trust to put a youth player there again?
Antonio Nusa is also it's not looking good for him, bro.
What do you mean?
From about the medical, he failed a medical, big man.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, he had an injury, so.
No, he didn't have injury. He didn't have an injury. They found that there was something in his knee, everything like that. So,
Yeah, this is what medicals are. They don't. But they can find injuries, but they're generally like a risk assessment of like, is it worth bringing the player in? In which case, we had a howler bring Wesley Fofana in after giving him like 2 medicals. But you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ,
that was shocking. But yeah,
I mean, other than Adingra, right? I said that. Are there any other shouts for left wing that you guys have? Because I honestly would like to replace Sterling. Sterling has always been the frustrating player. Yes, he's getting the GA here and there, and you saw today he was involved with the goal, but I don't see it consistently enough to bar the price tag.
But Marshall, you love Sterling though.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You love him.
No, I don't.
You love Tuchel.
No, I don't. I don't. No. Not having this, Ahmed. Lau's not gonna happen, bro. And plus, Lau. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna speak too much on Lau, but I'm pretty sure he's not having that great of a season right now.
No, I think Liao is a good player. The issue with Liao is inconsistency as well. He's got inconsistency issues as well, which is an issue as well. When you got a guy like Liao who's quite inconsistent, you don't know what he's gonna. He can play well, but the DNA is not consistent. If that makes sense. So with him.
I'm curious, Curry. I want to pick your brain here a little bit. Do you have any shouts for left wing? Or actually, where do you stand with Sterling? Or? Would you just keep Sterling? I mean, I don't know. Where do you stand with this?
I would say let's keep him for another season, and because everyone has been harping on us for lack of experience in some way and blah 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 and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's why we're not good in midfield. So if we have to eat the contract, let's eat the contract, keep him for another year. Mudryk needs to go out on loan for sure. And Jackson can be our other left wing option / backup striker option. But I think we should definitely go for a left winger. Like the entire left side that I think Scott has mentioned before needs to be completely like redone. And the weird thing is one of those positions we have already, but Poch doesn't like him in Ian Matheson. Once again, performing well again for Dortmund. He's a way better option, I think, than Chilwell right now. I know some people can say lack of prem experience, fair enough, but Chilwell does not provide anything besides ball striking to me offensively. He's not that good of a crosser. And the few times he has gotten ball striking, fair enough, but that's when we were playing a 3 in the back formation. And this year too, I think Chilwell even made an apology and a meme about it when he was like 1-on-1 on goal, I think in the Arsenal game, and he completely fluffed that.
Wait,
it was the Luton game where he was playing on.
Right?
He was playing on the
season or something.
Yeah, it was the Luton game. He's playing on the wing, and then he got the ball, and he had an open goal, and he tried to square it to nobody.
Yep, exactly. So and then he made but we won that game. So he I think on Twitter he apologized to one of the offensive players.
Gotta practice my shooting. He said something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he's good at ball striking, but we're not playing the and we're not playing the 3 at the back that we did with Tuchel, right? So he's not good at crossing. His defending is mediocre at best right now. So I just think we have that option, and the left wing, like I said, I'm kind of on a Osimhen thing right now, and I would not go for Osimhen at all. If we're paying 105 million, I think release clause for him, I would not do that. I would pay maybe 80 for a Leao, and just go for him. I would get a Leao and use that whatever 40 extra however million and get someone.
Leo has played as striker, right? He's capable of playing that position.
We
but
can't,
I wouldn't
do
that.
that.
Fully,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm not moving for Leo.
Here's the thing, Ahmed, you say that, but let's be honest. There's not a lot of great offensive talents that we can go for in general in the world. When Mbappe is going to go from Madrid, Osimhen has been mediocre at best. We're not going to get a Musiala or a Kingsley Coleman. Let's be frank with you. Kvaratskhelia is not having a great season either.
Yeah, I heard that.
Vinny, you're never getting.
No, I hear you, bro. The point I was gonna make is that I unironically might have to agree with the board on this one and be like, it might be better to get an up and coming player that you at least can bring you week in, week out in that.
It's kind of crazy.
What happens with Mudryk then?
Exactly.
The thing with Mudryk, I think
that's what Mudryk's supposed to be, right?
No, because the thing with Mudryk was, and I'll be honest, Mudryk kind of came in just before the guys that came before the directors of football came in. Because if you look at the guys
just before Win Stanley,
when Stanley Stewart came in, because if you look at the guys they brought in afterwards, they're not similar. At least I would say in sporting level to what Mudryk is. Mudryk literally compared to every single one of our other players that he brought in to the starting 11 that are young.
I think Mudryk is during the directors. It was the directors.
Yeah, because
they started working in the January window.
Yeah,
I feel like what happened was
the last. Hang on a minute. The last pre-director signing was in Nkunku, because that was in December.
No. So what happened with the Mudryk one? Because Mudryk, what happened? I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first week of the transfer window, they were already looking for, before even the apparently thingy happened, to hijack that already. They were apparently, this is pre-directors. So this is why I always say Mudryk is not necessarily a director sort of thing, if that makes sense.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like the directors came in and just took the wheel from there, and they didn't steer them away.
I think that's fair enough. But the point, if we agree with that, is that if you look at every other player you brought other than into the starting 11, Bayern Mudryk, these guys have some level of experience and they're not as raw as he is. You know what I'm saying to you?
I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from with that.
You know what I'm saying to you? So for me, that's why, and I've said this before, we already know Mudryk's not ready. We all agree on this. There's no denying that. That's why sending him to Strasbourg is the best option for you, to at least for him to learn his talents. I honestly believe if you bring in someone like a Nico Williams who has already multiple seasons of La Liga experience at this point, unlike a Jackson, for example, who's only had one season there, someone like a Mudryk who only had one season in the Ukrainian league, you at least know that this guy's been playing week in, week out. For example, in the another guy that I think that I mentioned, as Simon Adingra, he's been having experience if you want to. But Kubo is another one if you want to even go for him. I forgot who I also forgot to play on the wing too. So there are guys there that are almost there that have had multiple year experience already. And then for me, don't go for Osimhen, go for your Yorkiers. Guys had already had experience in the Championship. Now he's had that experience in this at Sporting Lisbon. Bang. You know what I'm saying to you? Okay, I didn't grow up, of course, not enough because this is his first season. I get that, right? So obviously not at him. But you know what I'm saying to you? He's had his first season at Coventry. So he's now had his first season in. If we believe he's ready and you're ready to take that risk, we can go for someone like him. And he's for me, I would argue a cheaper risk than someone like an Osimhen, in my opinion.
Hey, listen, Gyökeres is my guy, but if we're going to pay 85 million for him versus 103 for Osimhen, I'm going for the latter. Personally, it's not enough of a difference for me.
Do you know what I would say?
Especially for a guy like Osimhen who has more top-level experience.
Do you know what I would say to that, Oliver, quickly, if I may? Yeah? The reason why I would say go for Gyökeres is remember, Chelsea's going to have a minority stake quite soon in Sporting Lisbon. So for us, it would probably make sense here if we already have a minority stake in them that they actually make the deal a lot cheaper for us, where we can negotiate in a sense to our advantage because we don't need to because we all have a minority stake in that club.
Yes, Ahmed, but that doesn't make sense because that would clearly show you away from everyone like a serious.
That's what Brian do with USG, bro.
Like insider trading and all that, right?
No, because Man City for Salvio just made the release clause low as shit, and then just got him. With Gyökeres, we would have to get the release clause. There's no way the fans would riot. I don't know. We would lose complete.
No. I'm not saying we don't pay the money. I'm saying we paid the money, but it would be similar to the case of like where we pay slightly higher fee that we usually do, but instead we make it such that it's favorable to us. How we pay that over time. That's what we probably do.
And we can't really do that. No, because it's cut off at 5 years now. It's not like 8 years anymore.
No. I hear you, but like we can still pay what if you do 87 divided by 5. It's pretty much the same that they would be paying over 8 years.
Here's my question for you, right? Like, okay, so Kubo, great player, but he plays on the right. I don't need more players on the right. He barely plays on the left. If you're talking about young, then I'm just like, okay, then what? We just bring Angelo back, and he's having a kind of decent season in Strasbourg. He's going to be the young guy you want. And then with Osimhen, and I wouldn't even go for Gyökeres because I'm like, if I'm paying 80 million, why don't I just get Dovbyk?
The issue
from Girona, only a year older.
This season has kind of showed me with Osimhen, that the secondary and to get into the box for him, and he needs to score, and that is a big worry of mine, particularly with Osimhen, because the issue you run into there is that if I don't, let's say it's the team's having a hard time creating chances, he's not going to be able to help us help himself create chances for himself, or even help the team engineer the chance even for him. And that's a big worry for me.
I agree with that, but I'm saying if I'm also paying 80 million for Gyökeres, I'd rather just get a guy who's a year older in Dovbyk and just get Dovbyk, and he's probably going to be like 50 million.
The thing of Dovbyk though, one season, that's the issue.
Yeah, come on, Gyökeres too. Come on, it's championship. We're not.
But the thing is, Gyökeres, we have the thing of the championship here.
2 years.
We have at least examples from both who's at Aston Villa, Watkins, and we have Ivan Toney. So we have actual empirical examples of guys that have gone from championship to EPL. This guy's just done a sidestep to even self-improve from the championship to this.
Okay,
to the
but that
Portuguese
doesn't
league.
make sense because there's a billion strikers coming from the championship up to the EPL, and they've not done well.
No, but I'm talking about recent examples. But recent examples who have scored the similar amount of goals.
But Watkins isn't good enough. I don't think Watkins is that good.
I don't think it's much a big upgrade on Jackson.
Yeah,
I agree on
yeah,
that.
yes,
I
agree,
like Watkins.
I do because like Watkins pre-Emery has very similar stats to what we're bashing Jackson.
Look
at the manager though.
That is fair.
No, but I'm saying 3 years older as well.
Yeah, that is fair. I agree with Curry.
But the difference is though, he had both Gerrard and Dean Smith.
Bro, the way Dean Smith was using this guy, man, he played a 3-5-2 with him and Ings up front. That is stinky.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Captain, leader, legend.
They would charge crazy amount for Watkins though. So there's no point even looking at Watkins. He's not
let me check how much he scored in general. Like, let's check his stats.
Like he scored a couple more and Jackson. I think he's definitely
He's at 11. He's at 11, and he scored.
This is the thing with the championship though. Like, the thing with the championship, like for every Ollie Watkins, for every Ivan Toney, you have about 10 Ollie McBurneys. You have about 10 Teemu Pukkis. You know, people like that. You know, the bums. Literally.
There's the Pookie pie or what?
Yeah, that guy in a purple patch, he's ass.
Yeah. Hey, respect him, man.
What were you saying, Curry?
I'd rather go for a man who's kind of challenging in a league that only has a 2-horse race. I mean, they're second in Girona. Like, he's second, and he's only a year older. He's not going to cost 80 million. He's going to cost like 50 tops at best.
I thought he's got cost.
And he's a big man. He's a big man. He can header the ball and all that stuff, and he's having a great season right now. So if we're spending, I'm saying Gilchrist isn't good enough for me at 80 million. If you're saying I'd rather just get a dog, it's very similar. That's just my opinion. And the only reason I was mentioning Leao is there's not that many great wingers available in the world, and he's proven in a sense. He's the closest thing to a proven kind of mature player that is slightly attainable.
I mean, I hate to entertain this, to be honest. Real quick comment. I hate to entertain this, to be honest, but would you guys dip back into Brighton for Mitoma?
No, hell no.
No.
He actually declined the season, by the way. He declined the season in terms of
a lot.
They would
still a quality player there, though. I'm pretty
sure. Wait, Ahmed, hasn't he been? He's been injured, hasn't he?
He has been injured.
No. But I'm saying, even pre-injury, if you've watched him play, particularly the first half of the season, he hasn't been playing great. And part of that maybe,
that's deserving, though.
And again, part of that maybe you could probably say is that the fact that obviously he's 2 games a week now, he's playing Europa League football. Maybe he's not used to it.
Maybe,
but like, that's maybe again. But these remember, as I always say, if buts and maybes, you know what I'm saying.
And how much are Brighton charging?
The Zerbi
exactly. That's no. My thing is how much would Brighton charge him? They would probably charge.
That's why I kind of asked.
80 million, and I'd rather go for Leao then.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 150 million from Mitoma. Are you kidding me? They want fucking 100 for Evan Ferguson. Get the fuck out of here.
Low end.
I just want to also be honest. This Thursday, Leao's facing Rennes. You know what I mean? He's not making that. He's not making that the head.
Oh.
He's actually facing us in Europa League, by the way, last 16. What's it called? San Siro. He's not making out of the hood, man. We're cooking that guy. You know what I mean? We're beating that team 2-1, nice and easy.
Mm-hmm. No, but the other thing,
they've not been playing good, by the way. AC.
Yeah.
I've been playing not great either. I'll be honest with you, boys, too. I've been watching AC. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like Tio Hernandez has been doing a bit Basilini, of course, but like, but it's not looking good for him, bro. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were just discussing this, and replacing Sterling is going to be quite the task, quite the uphill battle, and it's really tough to name any like. Actually, let me bring this back up then. How have you guys been feeling about Jackson in the left wing in the last 2 games? Because I have been saying for a while now, I actually don't mind him in the left wing. I think until he develops that, that killer instinct for not taking an extra touch in front of goal and just trying to get a shot. That's what he does, though. He takes extra touches in front of goal. You look at his. First of all, where is he in big chances missed this season? He's top of the league. He's top of the league. He's at least top 5 at big chances missed. He's missed chances because, and you look at the chances he's missed, a lot of the time is because he takes that extra touch, Mr. Touchy Jackson.
He's not
Mr. Touchy Jackson.
Bro,
yes, he does.
He's not watched him play then, bro. It's the majority of the time. The majority of the reasons why he's either missed chances, either that stupid headers that he's
extra
missed.
touch. Yeah.
No, the other one is that whenever he gets the ball, he either overhits it, and we've seen that multiple times actually. That one where it will go out and it will literally be like a finesse outside of the thing or hit it to the sky. We've seen that how many times, bro? That's the majority of the things.
Not as much as the extra touches.
You're talking about the opportunities where he's hit the player. That's not a big chance, by the way. Doesn't count.
No, I'm not talking about the opportunities where he's hit the player.
Yeah,
I'm just talking
about. But like a big chance is whenever they've hit it and it's been either missed or saved.
I keep it consistent. I keep it consistent, right? The one thing that frustrates me about Raheem Sterling is the same thing that at times, and he doesn't do it as much. I'll be honest, he doesn't do it nearly as much as Sterling. But that's the thing that frustrates me at times about Jackson is taking that extra touch, trying to dribble when you shouldn't be dribbling. Give it a pass or try to take a shot. Why must you dribble? Why must you this guy wants to set the ball up perfectly for himself at times. It's like, bro, sometimes as a striker, you just need to take the chance where you're given. You can't position. You can't always be in a comfortable position. What are you going to say, Oliver?
So here's the thing with Jackson at left wing. Like you talk about like the whole touchy thing, and like I hear it as a striker, but the problem is, if you're going to make him play the left wing on a frequent basis, you're kind of encouraging him to be touchy. You'd rather just have him play at striker. And
I don't mind that until he develops that instinct to really, really go at the goal at any opportunity that he can without needing to take an extra touch. He's good at dribbling, though. That's the thing. He's good at dribbling. He has fantastic link-up play and fantastic hold-up play, which is I want him in that starting lineup. I just can't depend on him to get me goals. But then again, there's not really many players I can depend on. So
I just don't think the sample size. I think Scott said this after the Villa game when he had a good game on the wing, and the same case goes for today where he was pretty poor on the wing. And when he got back to the striker position, we actually saw him get involved. He had that. I can't remember who was running in behind, but he gave a really nice flick. He held up the ball and gave like a back heel to someone. That was really good. He got involved from the.
Malagusto,
I can't. It was probably Gusto, someone from the right hand side, but. You know, the sample size is a problem because you have a game like Villa where he's really good, and you're like, maybe this could work. Then you have a game like today where he needs to play at striker to get more involved. And you even look at his like Villarreal days. Like people say, oh, he played wing there. No, he still played striker more for his old club than he did left wing.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, on this topic of a striker, though, I have no doubt.
Can I say quickly before I'll let you continue on? But on Jackson, bro, you actually just have an agenda, bro. You know what I mean? It really just is an agenda.
I don't. I want this.
I refuse. Listen, in my personal opinion, you have an agenda. Literally. On him.
He does have a little bit.
Listen.
Nah, see, even
right, listen,
me.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'll tell you this. I do have a little bit of agenda because I'm right. I know I'm right on this. Because he is too touchy. He's not there as a player yet. But I know that if he continues on this path that he's on, which I think he's on a good path right now. I just think he's still. Listen, you said it. We've all said it. For the price that we got Jackson for, he is, in my opinion, performing as well as he should be. Like there shouldn't be high expectations on Nicholas Jackson because of where he came from, the age he's at, and the price he came at. How much was the price tag, guys? 35, 30?
35. It was like
35 million for how many goals he's got this season and assists?
9.
And the link-up play he's given us, and bro, I'm happy with what we're seeing out of Jackson. I just wish he was the complete striker already. I'm just impatient in that sense, right? But I know in the long run, I know Nicholas Jackson is going to be a proper baller, which I'm not worried about the future of the striker position with Nicholas Jackson. What I am worried about is the next 2 years in the striker position with only Nicholas Jackson. We do need like someone who can be more clinical in that position. And now, listen, agenda or not, the question is in the air about Victor Osimhen. It could be the manager. It could be him. Like he had one of those seasons, a Darwin Nunez season. I don't know. Is the answer Ivan Toney? Because it looks like there are still links with Ivan Toney, or is the answer going young? And we did discuss obviously Victor Gyökeres, but there is Boniface. We just saw Frimpong, which I'm sure. I think there have been some links to Chelsea for Frimpong. I don't remember, but there are options out there. But I don't know, the proven options, the clinical options, those strikers. I don't know. It's looking slim pickings, but I mean, I'd like to. Pass it along to you guys. I mean, your thoughts on really Boniface, Frimpong as potential options for that striker position.
Frimpong.
Frimpong's
Is it Frimpong a striker?
No, he's a right back.
He's a right wing back.
I'll take the L on that one.
This guy doesn't.
Yeah, you take the L on that, my guy.
Hey, Casually FC.
Guys, you can't to get him out of it.
Hey, reposition. Hey,
He saw Alonso at wing back and he thought, he saw Alonso. He got his wing backs are strikers, man.
He's still Frimpong in the box and got Alonso. That guy's a striker.
You know where it is, Oliver? Yeah, he saw him score that goal to make it 3-0 against Daddy Tuchel. And now he's discombobulated.
Listen, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm telling you, man. Tuchel's got the ID for talent. He exposed that Frimpong was actually a striker. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, man. You and Tuchel man have some great nights, don't you, man? I'm telling you, man.
Hey, man, Tommy Tukes, my captain, leader, legend. You know what I'm saying? Where's my?
Many
where's
ways,
my thing? Where's my
I
thing?
just imagine Marshall, the manager, got Frimpong. You go and striker, my guy.
Yes, I would put Frimpong as striker. But I mean, Boniface is also another shout. Again, people have said the pool, what we've seen, right? It's still not enough, but I don't know. This is just another issue that's like it's a tough nut to crack. Pause. When it comes to that striker position, so I don't know. I guess this leads me to talk about Nkunku, right? These last two games where I've seen Nkunku play as a striker, I've not been very impressed. I almost this might be a hot take, but I almost feel that I'd rather, and I don't want this, but I'd rather just have Jackson as a striker than Nkunku. Because I feel like Jackson gives me more as a striker than Nkunku does.
That's the way I always would have had it. I would have only had Nkunku play at striker in emergency situations, like when you don't have a striker. If Jackson were to get an injury, that's where I'd have Nkunku. I mean, to be honest, what I would have done, when I heard that we were going to recall Datro Fofana from his loan at Union Berlin, I would have been happy to keep him as the backup. And that's not me talking in hindsight of him having a good start at Burnley. I genuinely think this guy is good, like from prior evidence. I would have had that, but we loaned out Broja, we loaned out Fofana. It is what it is. We're stuck with just Jackson now. I would have only ever used Nkunku in an emergency situation. And the thing is, you say you're unimpressed with him as a striker, and I do agree, but you must admit it's a similar thing with Jackson. He is actually very good in build-up, and he looks imaginative. He looks quick on the ball, but he's just there's no like striker instinct. He needs to be making the late run inside, or he needs to be, that shadow striker, second striker, whatever you want to call it. It's just not the same thing. He links up well, but he's not going to be the guy that you punt the ball up to and he'll win it. That sort of thing.
I mean, I guess where I'm coming from with that is that I kind of expected that even though that's not his ideal position in Nkunku, I kind of would have expected that at the moment where he is in his career, he is still a better striker than Jackson. Again, I'm not bashing Jackson as a striker. I'm just saying where Nkunku is in his career, the experience he has, and the quality of player that he is, I would have expected more from him in a striker position because I know he can play that position.
I mean, the thing is, striker, saying as a striker, it's quite a blanket term because there are many different ways to play striker, and Nkunku did come from a club where he played striker, but the way he played striker, it was in a front two where he was the second striker. Very, very different to how Jackson has played for us. You can't expect the same things. It's two different. I mean, granted, they're similar skill sets in terms of linking up, but Jackson is a bigger guy. He's got the strength over Nkunku. He has more experience. I think he's taller.
Who's taller?
Jackson or Nkunku.
Jackson's taller. Yeah, it's obvious.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he'd have more of the physical traits to maybe pull off more of a target man or a traditional 9, whereas Nkunku is maybe a second striker slash maybe a false 9. But I'd just rather him play in the 10 role. Like, that's what we bought him for. We're shoehorning him to other areas to accommodate others, and it's just not necessary. Like, it's like what Scott said earlier. Gallagher, listen, good contribution today. Great contribution today with the 2 goals. You can't criticize him for that. But tell me Nkunku can't do that, and some. Tell me Carney can't do that, and some.
He can definitely do that. His finishing's actually probably best finisher in the team. Maybe I can probably say confident. Because every time you see Nkunku with his chances he has, he normally puts it away no problem with ease as well. He makes it look easy.
For the most part, yeah.
The last goal he scored was really good as well. With Nkunku as well, I think he you say target man. I think he's a better target man, and Jackson. Jackson doesn't even, I don't know. When it pings to
what?
him,
What do you mean?
No.
Well, I don't think he holds up right. Even in the box when they're crossing it to him, Nkunku's a better header. And Jackson, and a better finisher anyway. So
I agree with the finishing and the heading, but I don't know. I don't like either as a target man, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not both great. I'm not saying they're both great, but I already agreed with Oliver anyway. What he's saying before, I prefer not Jackson, Nkunku behind a striker because Nkunku that's at his best when he's behind a striker, a second striker, or a 10 or something like that. That's when Nkunku's at his best anyway. So yeah, maybe one day we'll get that, more consistent, 10 games, for 10 games, no injuries, and we get to see Nkunku, Jackson, whoever's on the wings at that time, Cole Palmer, and Mudryk, or something, I don't know. Something like that, anyway. We just can't get consistency where we are line up.
Bro, we are not seeing Mudryk.
I think.
Well, we can't have. Madueke and Cole Palmer on the wings.
No, we're just not seeing Mudryk. He didn't come on at all against Villa, and today, I think when Nkunku came on, Gallagher moved to the left wing in a 4-4-2. It was dreadful. Oh my god.
What are we gonna say, Curry Pirate?
Yeah, I think the main parts in terms of build-up play that we kind of want from a striker is what Nkunku lacks in terms of hold-up play. Especially when you put the ball up, and he's not good at that. He does have the killer instinct and is good in the box, as we saw in his first goal against Wolves, and also the goal against Villa, where he basically just danced around the defenders and then scored the goal. So he definitely has that over Jackson, but he doesn't have the hold-up play we actually need to invite our wingers, especially the team that we are, which is we're kind of more better in the counter-attack, I would say, where we have the paces of a Madueke or Sterling or Mudryk, or so on and so forth, to put that pressure straight towards the box and then hopefully create a goal or whatnot. So that's why I think Jackson is just overall better than Nkunku in that. So that's why I would play Jackson as striker. And my thing is I know we've said Palmer and Madueke occupy the same space. I agree when it comes to when Palmer's playing false 9. When Palmer's playing the 10, I think he doesn't do that as much, to be honest with you. So if there's a lineup, my ideal lineup, I would kind of go Jackson striker, Nkunku as left wing / left mid, Palmer on the 10, and then Madueke. Because we did see Nkunku play on the wings during preseason and still link up with Jackson pretty well before we had Palmer in the squad. So that's why I would try that. I would have tried that against a team like today, to be honest, where a low block team, whenever we do play like a Sheffield or so on and so forth, like I would go for like a, because the thing with this team is, like Gallagher, did save us, but my thing was, if we're gonna, Poch is saying we have an inexperienced team, right, and we could fold under pressure, fair enough, but how about we maintain enough of a lead so even if we do have that pressure, we can still win. For example, Luton, we had a 3-goal lead, we conceded too late, but we still won, right? Villa, we had a 3-goal lead, so we're comfortable, right? So the thing is, my thought process was, let's have enough firepower and enough finishing to just, in a sense, blitz them in the beginning. So if we do falter late and get hard late, we have enough cushion, so we don't have to constantly stress and worry. So that's more so my thing, especially if today, like, I get why Gallagher played against Villa because we're trying to also control the midfield more, but when you don't have the creativity of an Eze and Elise missing, I would have just, told Enzo and Caicedo to kind of protect the back line a bit more, but just Enzo to play those long balls and then, let the attack do their thing and fully go for it. More than anything else would have been my thought process. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think obviously we got the result, and at the end of the day, because we got the result, Poch as a result, I would say did get the lineup right. But how do I word this? I just don't know. That left wing position is a tricky one for me because we've seen Sterling's recent form. It's been shaky. Mudryk is not the answer. I do like Jackson in that left wing. Maybe he wasn't as effective today, but like what you were saying, I think Jackson as a striker with Nkunku also in that lineup, not as a striker, I think that would be more beneficial to the team because we could benefit from his creativity and his ability to make something, and just being technical in general. But at the same time, like, do I want to put Nkunku in the left wing just to have Palmer in the 10 and we can have Madueke? Because that's the other thing too. Like, even though Madueke got hooked today, I still think he did as good of a job as he could. I just don't think that we had the necessary tools around him per se to like take advantage of it. And that is what annoys me sometimes about Poch, is when he does pick these lineups, he doesn't necessarily help the other players with the staff around them. So for example, when we did have a fit Cucurella, or I mean, I don't know, when we did have a fit Cucurella, not playing him with Mudryk more often, even though in the beginning I know the link-up play wasn't there, but over the course of time I think we started to see it more before Cucurella got injured. Whereas with Chilwell, I don't think it was there as often. And then also not having Jackson for Mudryk as well, that doesn't help a player like Mudryk. Although I'm not trying to make excuses for Mudryk. I don't think he's been good enough this season. But with someone like Nani Madueke, I think today it was good. I think what helps him a lot is having a Reece James and or a Malo Gusto in that position to overlap. But again, not having a Jackson maybe in that 10 position or in that striker position, or someone that can link up with him, maybe didn't help him today in the sense. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about Nani's performance today, and would you actually bring him back for the next game?
I just think he was poor. That's the long and short of it, really. I'm not. I like him. I think he's a good player. He just had a bad game. Like it's nothing to beat him over the head with in the long term.
I mean, like, it was a bad game, but not in the same sense like where Mudryk has a bad game.
No. Well, I mean, it was bad in terms of like, I mean, he was bad like the rest of them, like going forward and all that. In the first half, it was terrible. The thing where I deduct even more points from him was his part in the goal, where he gave that lazy pass to Caicedo that he had to try and rescue. It was a hospital pass. Caicedo tried to overlap him, and it was just horrible.
that honestly, as a manager, that definitely would have been something that I've seen. It would have pissed me off and made me hook him for sure.
But I can't even give Poch that because we saw what Raheem Sterling did against Aston Villa and Wolves, and he didn't get subbed off. So I can't give him points for doing that in one situation and not in the other.
Yeah.
You talk about like should you like bench him for next game? I don't see Cole Palmer and Madueke in the same team unless Cole Palmer's a striker. Like I don't see Poch like actually starting them two like together. I think Madueke's role anyway in the squad's gonna be in the future a bench player, like a rotational player who can come on unless he can prove himself that he's like a really good player. You know, like I don't see it like that, but he could be. You know, he's like 22 years old. So
you don't think he's been like really good?
Lately he has been quite good, except for today. He has been quite good. I agree. Like his shooting's been quite good actually. Like his passing's been good. His dribbling has actually been quite good. Like he's been taking on players and all that, but I don't see like how Chelsea play unless you play Cole Palmer. I don't know, like as a 10 and Madueke on the right. I don't see Cole Palmer and Madueke on both wings. Like that, I don't ever see that. I could be wrong, but
Chris, what I was thinking, I want to try and cook him on the left. Let's just give it a go. You know, he'll be cutting in on his strong foot. He can come inside. That's totally fine. You know, all that works. Bring Carney in the 10 role, and then Palmer back to the right. Because this is the thing,
Carney too, yeah.
Like Cole Palmer again at the false 9. I don't think it was a convincing performance. You know, he went to the right hand side and looked a lot better. I just don't like this false 9, and I don't understand the idea of he's been our player of the season. He's our most influential attacker. Why are we moving him around? We should be moving others around for him. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
I do agree, yeah.
It might be a testament to the fact that Pochettino thinks he has great abilities, and granted, yes, he does. But sometimes you just have to realise that the guy is struggling to get involved in the game from that advanced central position.
Yeah. I just think, like Madueke, he could be a great player from the bench as well. Like, come on from bench, just like use him, 40 minutes or 30 minutes each time, or start him in games in the FA Cup, start him in some games in the Premier League, like just rotational. Like some players are just like that sometimes, rotational players. Like Macau was a fantastic player, but he was a rotational player too, man. He didn't start every game.
Just play it by form. The guy with the best form plays.
Yeah,
and that doesn't. And because that doesn't mean Madueke is a bad player. It just means that we've got a Cole Palmer on that side that is one of the best young attackers in the continent right now.
I think the Premier League just put it out. Like he's got 10 goals, 6 assists in the Premier League. Like he's got 16 GNA.
Yeah, he has like a bunch of goal involvements or something like that. I forgot the stat.
Yeah,
I mean, speaking
crazy,
of,
man.
I mean, Curry, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I think Oliver, I do disagree a bit with you were saying Madueke wasn't really that great. I think he was our best attacker in the first half because he was the only one breaking the lines, to be honest with you. He was the only one trying to push back the opposition defenders at all, from what I saw. And it was very similar to how he was performing against Villa. I do agree, though, obviously, a lot of points taken off by the way he handled his part on the goal.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's like a learning moment for him in terms of, being more careful with how he handles that situation in the future, being like near the edge of the box and making that, trying to wiggle his way out like that, instead of maybe passing to the goalkeeper looking for something other than, I feel like he was just trying to dribble past them and he's like surrounded by 2 defenders when they're pressing. But I feel like he was the only one pushing because I don't remember that much from Palmer or Gallagher
Jackson, really.
or Jackson. So I felt like he was our only outlet in the first half.
But that's
I did make the point that like they were all bad. I literally I only single out Madueke for the goal pretty much, but if you deduct the goal away, I cannot distinguish between any of the 3. They were all terrible.
And I mean, I do want to add to what Curry was saying as well. It's like this goes back to what I said about the frustrating part about picking certain players but not putting the right players around them. Like in that situation where Nani Madueke ends up dribbling past, the defenders and getting behind the defensive line, then there's no options. You don't have a Jackson there that you can pass the ball to. There's sometimes where Cole Palmer wasn't available for a pass or an option to score from. Like, that's the frustrating part is having the options. Maybe you could even put a lot of onus on Gallagher in that in the position he was playing. Yeah,
I thought we were doing that
too at times.
I thought we were doing that. We actually fixed that in the second half, though, because if you watch both of Gallagher's goals, you have like a line of 6 that are pushing back Crystal Palace's defenders, and then you've got Gallagher in between the lines who's open, and he just shoots.
Yeah, and you can make the argument that, I mean, I know we put Palmer in the right wing, but you could make the argument that if we had kept the same formation, except just, push more options up front, maybe Nani Madueke gets an assist or 2 in this game as well, because he was breaking down the defensive. Like, that's what I mean. Also, when it comes to picking the staff for the right game, in a game like today, although, yes, okay, we won, and most of the Chelsea fan base would tell you, don't change the lineup, keep this same lineup, the same one that performed this well against Aston Villa, against Crystal Palace. Sure. But in a game like today, I would have preferred a Nkunku in that number 10 position to not have to have a Gallagher in that position. You know what I'm trying to say? Because a Gallagher is not going to help you break down a block. And Nkunku will. Nkunku has the technical ability to dribble past the player and create something, just like Jackson has that ability on the left wing, and Palmer or whoever you want to play in the right wing has that ability. And Nani Madueke certainly has that ability. So against low block teams, I think Nani Madueke is a perfect tool. We just Poch misused him today. Speaking of Palmer, though, which we were discussing earlier, I do want to go over this last goal, which is the Enzo goal. I didn't want him to pass it to Nkunku multiple times, but I think at the end of the day, obviously because we got the goal, it was smart on Palmer to be patient, that's the one thing I like about Palmer is his patience on the ball and his non-reactiveness, because when we've seen players that when they react, sometimes they make mistakes, and Palmer takes time to think and decide what's the most effective, which is, and he tends to be unpredictable. Even when he does that shot from outside the box, which he loves to do right around here, I think the defenders thought he was going to go for the top bins right here, and he goes for the near post and low. And if that was on target, you could argue maybe he sneaks in a goal there as well. But I thought it was a smart play on his half. But and again, Enzo does the thing that I'm praising Palmer for, which is, don't rush to try to take a shot. The goalie probably thinks you're going to go far post. You fake the shot again to see if you can get a reaction of the goalie, and then without even looking where you're going to shoot, he thinks you're going to go far post, and then you go near post. Actually, funny enough, you put it in the same exact spot you put your goal last game.
It's not even about where the goalkeeper thinks he's going to go. As soon as you fake shot, you flat-footed the goalkeeper. He can't dive.
Mm-hmm.
His feet are planted on the floor. He's not on his toes anymore, so he's got no spring. Yeah. And that defender that Enzo was just fake shotting in front of, that was funny, man. He was just like flopping all over the place.
Man was a fish out here, man. Like, poor guy. Just ruined his career. Poor dude. Let me.
That goal was beautiful, man.
That's the kind of goal that if you can see that at school, man, you are not living that down.
Jesus Christ. That's pretty humiliating. I can't lie.
That's
pretty humiliating. Yeah. But it was a good goal at Enzo. And I mean, Enzo, obviously people were speaking so much on Enzo, but I don't see the critics being so loud anymore on Enzo, which fine. Again, I don't want Enzo. Well, I like that Enzo is scoring goal. I like that Enzo is scoring goals, but the main thing I want Enzo to do is give me decent passes, which today it wasn't at its best. And just create for me or find the attackers and let the attackers create, Today obviously wasn't the best of Enzo, but at the end of the day, he gets a goal, which is good for him. Good for him. I mean, I don't know if there's much to speak on Enzo, but go ahead.
The thing with Enzo today, like my problem with him wasn't him being goal hungry and running into like a second striker. He was playing way too much on the left, and be that, he drops into left back when Chilwell goes forward. And granted, that does have a defensive function, but it doesn't get the best out of him in any sense. He can't, he's obviously, if you're going to switch it to the right hand side, you've got to put a lot more power into that pass, and more power often equals less accuracy. So you've got to be a lot more pinpoint with that.
Yeah.
And I think other instances where he's just on the left wing for no reason, and then you've got Caicedo that's getting isolated and destroyed in the midfield, and it's like, where's his partner? And this is just the infuriating thing. Like, just not being involved enough. Like, because people are like, oh, under Potter you wanted him to be deep, or you wanted him to go forward. Now under Potter you want him to be deep. Sorry, there's a middle ground. It's literally called the midfield. Get in there and do your thing. Get passes. The way that midfield in the first half was one of the worst tactical setups I've ever seen in football.
Yeah, I mean,
just like Curry Pirate. I think you mentioned it earlier about like Thiago Silva being slow on the ball. I almost felt sorry for him because you have Caicedo that's dropping behind him, and then you have Enzo who's in a left back position. Then you have Gallagher that's running up to be a second. There's no midfield. Who's he meant to pass to? He's only got his fullbacks to pass to. Like I've criticised Silva this season, but for that one, I cannot solely put that on his plate, if you know what I mean.
So on what you're saying here, Joel, I think today we did see Enzo try to get those long range passes a lot, but it was very clear that Roy Hodgson and Crystal Palace today were playing a low block, and when you're playing a low block with the defensive players that they have there, like big strong players there. I think multiple times when we tried to go for the long ball, they just cleared it, and we couldn't get him behind because they sat.
Bro, they had Will Hughes at number 10, man. What the hell was that?
yeah, they had no attack today. Absolutely no attack today. Like
except for Mateta cooked Disassi, but apart from that, that was unfortunate.
But hey, Disassi made up for it by celebrating with the crowd. So,
bro, did you see he did a trust fall into the people?
Yo, did he really? I didn't see that.
Bro, we talk about when Lukaku jumped onto Hudson-Odoi's back in like a piggyback. Bro, that was murder compared to whatever Lukaku was doing. Oh my god.
Oh my days, man. Oh man. I mean,
and by the way, Jackson got booked in that celebration because he ran out from the bench.
He's one away from a 2-game ban.
Yeah, like that's one. Jackson, like what are you doing there?
It's like we got Nkuku back from fit.
I know we scored a winner, but like, are you really that impulsive? You have to get off the bench and run to the crowd.
He has to.
Like,
he's that guy, man. We know what guy Jackson is now. Like he's that hype man.
No, yes, but Chris, I don't want to lose him for another suspension.
Well, we don't have, I mean, to be honest, if we lose him, we don't have a backup striker. Well, I mean,
should we Cole Palmer false 9?
No, Nkuku is all Navy.
No, please no.
I think. Anyway, let's face it. It doesn't make matter.
And like we said previously, David Washington is a myth. He doesn't exist.
He wouldn't miss it. He wouldn't miss an FA game.
He wasn't even on the bench today.
Anyway.
Wait, Oliver and guys, if he gets a yellow from City, does he not qualify for EFL final? Because it's like sometimes connected. I just want to.
How many yellows is he on?
He's on 9.
Right? He's on 9 now. Okay, so one more would get him a ban.
The thing is, the guy is not even violent or dirty. Like, he just does it for stupid shit. Like,
okay, so I think the yellow cards only counts for the league. Because I remember when Jackson got suspended the first time, at the same time Gusto got his red card against Aston Villa. And I believe Jackson started the cup game even though he had a card suspension. So I actually think he would be fine for the cup final. It's just the league. Whereas if you get a straight red suspension, that carries over into the cup. So the final isn't a problem as far as I'm aware, unless anyone in the comments knows better. In which case, drop us a message and let us know.
Apparently, it's a 2-game domestic ban.
Yeah, because I feel like he's gonna get a yellow in City versus City, for either two reasons. Either we draw or win, and he's going to be hyped and go into the crowd and get another yellow, or we're going to get battered, and then he's going to fight with the referee or the players, and he's going to get a yellow. So I just want to make sure he's there for Liverpool.
Oh, by the way, speaking on Liverpool, Bade Sheila will not be available for Liverpool. His injury is going to have him out for that.
I think even for the City game, we just played Caldwell and Disasi at centre back. We played them two at centre back, and obviously Chill at left back. And
I mean, we might have to if this Silver thing is anything serious.
Nah, but like I saw, like we just so much slower, and we don't do anything when sometimes when Silver's in that back line, like it's just it's pain. We have to see Caicedo at centre back with Thiago or something drop in between them. Like I don't want to see that. So I want to see just Colwell and just to start off like Colwell and Disasi at centre back, and maybe we see something better.
I don't think Potter's going to grow a pair of balls overnight. Though that's the thing. That's what we need for this to see that he's not going to do it.
He might have to when if Silver's injured.
That's what I said, Chris. That's the only alternative that we have here. He will not do it by choice.
Hey, we can see
unless
less than 3.
He will not do it by choice unless his wife sends a tweet out about him.
Jesus Christ.
Does anyone?
Because let's be honest, that's why he got benched against Aston Villa. It wasn't because of his. It wasn't because of his performances. If it was because of his performances, he would have been benched at an earlier moment.
The reason he played back is because no Badiashile. That's what I think.
What'd you say, Curry Pirate?
Does anyone want to make a fake Bella Silva account?
Let's all unite together, and he won't know.
Chris, it's your job.
Hey,
you know how to make multiple Twitter accounts.
I do not. I only have 2.
I
One
believe
more
you,
got
Hey,
banned,
leave that to Scott, man. Scott wished him a month out. You know, leave that to Scott.
Yeah, I actually I love Thiago Silva, man. I can't. I won't say anything bad about him.
I mean, but you'll talk shit about his compatriot Fred, huh?
No.
Uncomfortable conversations, bro.
No. Like,
wait, Oliver, do you know the story of why Chris?
It's 2024 and we're talking about Fred. What?
Does Oliver not know the story?
No.
What's the story? Tell me.
Fred,
all right, well, we'll save it for backstage. We'll save it for backstage. But ladies and gents, that being said, I mean, is there anything else to really talk on about today's game? Did we miss anything? I think we talked it to death.
We didn't miss anything. Chelsea, just go beat C now, yeah.
Curry Pirate's a trooper. Stayed the whole 2 hours. Big up on you. Man.
I'll just reiterate. Gilchrist is terrible.
Jesus.
Oh.
Like Scott said, he is a builder, an electrician. He is not a football player.
He's a plumber.
He's learning.
He's a plumber. Yeah, we'll see, man. But yeah, I think big up to Gallagher. He did step up when needed. Didn't play well, but did get the goals. And at the end of the day, like sometimes those are the type of games that a team that needs confidence or a team that's trying to challenge or get into to reach certain goals, I guess, for lack of a better term, needs. So at the end of the day, like a result is a result. We do need it. Liverpool, who are challenging for the title right now, they get results just for the sake of results as well. Like it's not necessarily a bad thing, but there are things that need to be improved. Obviously, we see it as a fan base, and hopefully they do happen. But that being said, ladies and gents, we're going to be rating Staffy TV. I will be hopping over there in 15 minutes for the American Waffle Show. So if you want to see more content, if you want to see me waffle, then go over to Staffy TV. Big up to him. And yeah, check us out. I'll be there with Jacob, TJ Warren, Staffy, and a few other panelists representing their teams. We're the Big Six. So yeah, or the Big Five and just me, the sixth. 10th place Chelsea team. Yeah, we'll see how long we can consider Chelsea the Big Six for. But that being said, ladies and gents, thank you for being here. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 3K subscribers. Let's try to hit 2.5K first. We're very close to that marker as well, so it would mean the world to me if you guys hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already. Big up also to the panelists, Oliver, Chris, Curry Pirate, also Scott, Ahmed, Prime, Andrew, all of them that joined us today. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification if you are a subscriber. Check out the links in the description below so you can see other content as well as the Twitter and the Discord, which we're very active on the Discord. So come hang out with us, watch some pro clubs, have a banter, come watch some games with us. We're a pretty active Discord community, so big up to everyone on the Discord as well. And then leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything that we discussed today in today's game. What you disagree, what you don't agree with. Well, same thing. What you disagree, what you agree on. And then lastly, be sure to check out the memberships. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And if you are at the proper casual and higher tiered, you get shout outs. That's part of the perks. So shout out to the following members: Felipe Courtois, B-Man, and God of Frogs, Gabriel A, Orizon Hereditar, Hassan Nawaz, A Solomon, Uncle Jester FC, Will, Adrian, Scott, Dark, and OG Turbo Jesus. Big up to you guys, and thank you for your support. And big up to all our other members as well. Thank you guys for your support. So that being said, and JC, don't worry, I am there to be sure we have grounded expectations on Poch. All right, I am still Poch out, but regardless, yeah, guys, we'll see you over on Staffy TV, and until next time, I think Wednesday is the next time we'll be here on Casually. What we'll do, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But ladies and gents, big up to you all, and catch you later. Stay casual. Peace.